Are we ready? Are we ready for part 2? Listen, I didn't think it could be done. But if there was ever somebody who embodied the same energy of Jessie Lee Ward, it's Renita. It's Renita Brannan of LifeWave. And shout out to the incredible person who sent this to me. You're the real MVP, because holy guacamole. We're not cursing yet till minute 13, just to stay safe. So this is part 2. You're not really, you're missing a little bit if you didn't watch part 1, but you can still hang out with us for part 2 and then go back and watch part 1. I would recommend you going and watching part 1 because, holy crap. I'll snark note it for you. There is somebody at the very top of the comp plan, because I did look into LifeWave again, and she's at the very top with her hubby, Scott. They put their son on a parasite cleanse for 2 years, and after he was having a bad reaction to not only that, being on the floor, not being able to see, taking supplements that where his shins were like turning blue or something, they continued going on the alternative health route to figure out what was wrong with him, and lo and behold, the shining solution that came to them was LifeWave microwave patches. Oh, they're not microwave patches. They're the infrared patches. So rest in peace to this live in advance. This is our thesis. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to this live in advance, honestly. I would recommend getting a coloring sheet, having your crochet, drinking something delicious. I currently am drinking root beer. What else could you do? Maybe play some cards. Lurk and play a video game. Because this is going to be a lot, and we get to roast a PowerPoint now. Part 2. I'm so excited. You have my coloring book right here. Let's go. Love it, love it, love it. Knitting needles in hand. I love a good knitting session. Yeah, Miss Ma'am put her child on a parasite cleanse for 2 years. And was telling us the whole story about, she said, putting him on parasite cleanse was so hard for him. He lost his sight temporarily on the cleanse and would be on the floor writhing in pain. Emergency room who? Emergency room is not in the room with us because allegedly, according to her storytelling, the allopathic medical route was not taken. So, and then something else happened. She's like, I'm going to show you pictures of my child who's a minor. Here we go. And we took it off screen. She's showing us his pale face and his tanned body. And then showing you, like, progression as he gets older. Pale face, tan body, low mitochondrial numbers. And wouldn't you know, one of the signs of having low iron, being anemic, pale face, also low high mitochondrial numbers, or like mitochondrial distress also is a sign of anemia. But who am I to diagnose someone on the internet? Because I'm not a doctor, but holy cow, there seems to be some tools missing from the toolbox in this parenting methodology, honestly. So let me play the disclaimer before we get into trouble. And we're going to have to be a little careful because we definitely feel the rages when we react. This is my first encounter with her. Oh, it was ragey last night, I'll tell you that. Stay in our lane. We have guardrails. We have guides to stay on the humanity track. So just remember those as we begin.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus, I can't forget. I've been thinking too much lately. I just need to clear my head. I just need to clear my head.
It was even worse than my snark note, so if you do want to go watch part 1, it's not named the same thing, it's just the live stream directly before this one. If you go back to my channel and want to click on lives and then watch it, but I'd love for you to hang out here first. PowerPoint is about to be roasted. I don't know if she's going to press present. We can only hope. We can only hope. We can only freaking hope. Content warning, religious manipulation, content warning, maybe what could be classified as bad parenting, content warning, pseudoscience. One of the other issues from the stream last night is her son specifically said, "Mom, do you have to show my pictures on your Zoom call?" And she was like, "Oh, I'll just show a few." He didn't want her to show his pictures on the Zoom call, and she was like, "You're fine. You'll be fine. Consent who? Consent's not in the room with us. Just, I need to sell my shit, so it's okay. We'll just put a few of your pictures on Zoom." So, bye, Wendy. Part 1 is a bumpy ride. Proceed with caution. We need to get that clip from Harry Potter. It's going to be a bumpy ride from the guy driving the bus. Right? I think so. Are there not enough cautionary stories out there in the world about not seeking medical treatment? You'd think so, but here we are. And what a shame that her kid had to suffer that long and not get solutions. And I'm guessing just through pure luck, he doesn't have long-term health issues. And from what she was describing, I'm surprised he nothing worse happened to him. I think she just swallowed a whole handful of proverbial red pills and is bullheaded. Yeah. Oh, this lady, howdy friends. And shout out to all the ethical parents in the chat. I want to be clear, I'm not a parent. I just had decent parents growing up, so I'm not shaming her as a human. I'm angry at how her child was treated. I'm angry that she doesn't give a shit about consent. I'm angry that her kid needed help and didn't get it. And from what I understand, I mean, again, if you're in the medical community, if you have a true parasite that needs to be treated at a hospital or with an actual like MD doctor, but I think you have to do it in a hospital, and it doesn't take 2 years to get rid of said parasites. And we had a lot of people in the chat commenting like it's not super common for people to have parasites in the US. It's all that fun, super clean drinking water for the most people that have access to, and like washing our hands. And we also had somebody in the chat who is former lab tech, current nurse, saying that you're not even really able to get parasites from your animals because parasites are species specific. So it was a whole thing. So sorry, that's a recap of the last stream, and we're gonna start right meow, right where we. This is her video. These are her tabs. This is her presentation. I need to, if you want to lick the stream, I'd love an even number. We are at an even number, but I feel like 30 is better than 28. Bottom left. Oh, rip. Okay, maybe we need to make a top right corner camera. Please hold. I'm going to make a bottom left. Copy, paste. Oh, that definitely messed up. Top left. Okay. All right. Okay, we're good. We're good. Run. Oh no, run. Sorry, I just need to set up one thing real quick. And top left. All right. Good. We're good to go. Why are her graphics and words so tiny? Good question. In live chat, we know the rule. Body text is no smaller than 24 point size on a PowerPoint presentation. And I can tell you this is way smaller than 24 point size. But here we go. This is Renita, top of the comp plan in LifeWave. If you don't know what LifeWave is, they have these little dots that you put on strategic parts of your body, and they redirect your infrared light that comes out of your body back into your body. Even though that's happening all over your body, you only have to put it at strategic points, because somehow that does it for your whole system. The science doesn't make sense, but here we are.
I'm here to educate you and empower you to step into regenerative medicine so that your body can heal itself. Okay? I'm going to give you some tools on the journey, and it's up to you to implement them.
Tell me she doesn't remind you of Jessie Lee. Keep listening. Keep listening.
Again, I'm not telling you, I'm not your doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm telling you what happened to me and my family. I didn't finish this one. My mom lived with us for 1 year. She now lives independently over at this place called Touchmark, which is pretty much like the Carnival Cruise Line for old people. Anyway, mom lived with us for 1 year. She was so damn constipated. I mean, my full-time job was getting my mom to poop. I am not kidding you. Like, I mean, we were patching.
Renita also made the logical jump that because her mom struggled with constipation for 30 years, that somehow gave her mom Parkinson's. Yes, there are some symptoms, or there are some things that will tell that are symptoms of Parkinson's, but I don't think there's I don't know, and I could be wrong. I don't think there's evidence-based research to say your constipation means that you're going to get Parkinson's. Yeah, I think she did. I mean, hopefully there's more than one facility. Carnival Cruise Line for old people.
Here, we were giving her magnesium. I mean, you name it, we were doing. She was doing.
Take her to a registered dietitian. Oh, take her to the doctor. Oh, okay. No, all right.
Enemas. Like, we were doing everything.
You were giving your mom enemas? Who? The audacity to be like, I'm going to do that to my mom pretty frequently, since I made such good decisions about giving my kid parasite cleanses for 2 years straight. That sounds great, Renita.
Sometimes my mother would poop once every 8 days. Okay. Have you guys ever heard me saying, if you're not pooping, every 12 hours, the poop needs to be eliminated?
That is not scientific. Okay. You can be regular. Everyone's a little bit different. It's not necessarily every 12 hours for everyone. Who are you to even say this? You don't even have any degrees that you can be like, yeah, I am a trusted source, an expert in the field to be able to tell you how much you should poop. Nope. Not even a doctor of naturopathy, because she didn't finish her degree. She didn't finish her PhD. She just read a lot of books like Autumn Calabrese, and she feels good enough to tell us like she knows shit. Yeah, same, Ronnie. What the fuck is it the public's business about your mom's poop issues that you gave her an enema? Oh, I think she's probably going to tell her the magical little patches that she sells in LifeWave fixed her constipation and therefore improved her Parkinson's symptoms. That's just a guess, though. Oh my God, what is happening?
Appropriately, if not, it's going back on that gut brain axis and it goes up to here. And when you're that Constipated, how do you think your brain is?
Oh, stop. Wait. You're telling us our brain isn't gonna work if we're blocked up? This is even worse than the Colombia trip. This is even worse saying that you're not gonna have to go to the bathroom because you're sweating out your pee. Whatever was said. What? What is she talking about? Dude, if you're a member, drop a tinfoil hat in the chat. That's what it's there for. It's a little aluminum tinfoil hat. Take her to a doctor. Yes.
Constipated. Let's just call it that. Now they're showing studies of every kind of neurological condition linked to what?
What? I hate to stop. We've been trying to... She also doesn't necessarily know how to read studies because she just goes by the title or the number of times her search terms come up in PubMed, so that there's a lot of research on a few of the keywords that she's searching, which is absolutely how you do not use scientific studies.
Linked to constipation or diarrhea, because diarrhea is like constipation, because constipation, none of the nutrients are being assimilated correctly. And with diarrhea, none of the nutrients are being assimilated correctly.
It's a little more complex than that. Oh, what do you even know, DC? Well, I worked with a registered dietitian before I had surgery to help me keep my food down because I couldn't because of my endo, and worked with me for a lot of months. And it was a balance of trying to, I don't know, keep my food down. That's TMI, I guess. A registered dietitian did what we couldn't totally fix with medication. It was more nuanced. It was more like elegant. It was a more creative approach of what my registered dietitian, Kat Benson, was able to do for me. Let the cursey words rip, Melissa. Gut health is a thing. Yes, it is. Probiotics, great for you. Great. Also, if you're taking a probiotic, it's going to take 3 to 4 months for you to see a difference. So if you think someone's going to say from an MLM, oh, this probiotic is going to help you instantly, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And she looks so fucking smug. Nuance is your bestie. Amy, hello. I love your floof. Nuance is your bestie while doing research. Love it. As I look at my stack of papers I have to use for my references for my thesis. Good luck with writing tonight. Thank you so much for all that you added in the chat last night. It's good to see you again. It's just the energy, and she gave more of a Jessie Lee vibe in the first video, but just wait for it.
Correctly. Get it, guys? So constipation and diarrhea are like the same dang thing.
It's literally not the same thing. Oh my God. It's not the same thing.
Anyway, so my mom would go 8 days. So we got my mom on this same little thing here. And guess what started happening to my mom?
You were treating her like a guinea pig, and maybe her body didn't like it, so her body was pooping it out. I don't know.
Every morning she'd wake up pooping. She said to me on the 3rd day, what on earth did you give me? Because I'm pooping every day. What did you give me? So she's over at a touch mark. And I'm like, are you making it to the toilet in time? Like, the woman who went from 8 days of not pooping is now pooping daily and pooping regularly. And she's like, what on earth did you give me? That's different, Renita. She's like, this is crazy. Like, I've never pooped like this in my life. Like, and so I'm like, okay, so this is not just a Renita, Scott, Bo, we're all taking this.
Yeah, it could be. It could be just a y'all thing. Who knows? Margaret, we're probably thinking that she did not ask her mom before she shared, and even if she did, Renita decides what's best for her family. Because her youngest asked her not to share his pictures on the Zoom call, and she decided, yes, she was going to share the pictures, which is why we didn't share the pictures on our live stream yesterday.
peptide. We're all wearing the patches. Mom's wearing the patches. Now we start giving her the peptide, and mom's pooping. And I'm like, holy crap, what is going on here? What just happened? Okay.
Maybe it was literally holy crap. We don't know.
All right. I want to tell you that about my mom because it's affecting her brain. And you've also heard me say this. You've heard me say this a million times. When you're dreaming, you're cleaning. What that means is
when you're dreaming, you're cleaning? I didn't know. Where's the PowerPoint? We want to roast a PowerPoint. God dang it.
Is when you are dreaming at night when you're sleeping, your brain is cleaning itself.
Do dreams clean your brain? Someone's already searched for this. Okay. Where is this information from? Backflushing neural circuits. During dream sleep, the brain backflushes neural circuits by returning chemicals to their unusual... What the hell? Thank you! I had to have my colon removed. She's an awful person. Michelle? Agree. Also, thank you so much for the super chat. Holy crap. Let me give a...
I love you.
Holy moly. Thank you so much. Okay. Where's like a trusted Scientific American? I don't know if it's exactly trusted. Dreaming in the Brain from... This is from the National Institute of Health, but Miss Ma'am uses that too. I don't see something from like the Mayo Clinic or the neuroprotective aspects of sleep. This is from NIH. But again, we don't know what they were trying to do during this study. Did she just like sleep deprivation? What are the consequences? So what were they trying? Is this just an article? I don't know what they were trying to do with this article. Read at your own risk. I don't know. I'm not smart enough for this. I'm not obviously Harvard Health. I don't know if that's trust. This is from Harvard Health. Question: I've heard that toxins are flushed out of the brain during sleep. Is that true? One of the most interesting discoveries in the past decade is that the brain has a waste management system. Like people, in order to have the energy to do their work, brain cells need to eat to absorb primarily sugar and oxygen. And as in people, meals lead to wastes that need to be disposed of. The waste management system, called the Glymphatic System, is a series of tubes that carry fresh fluid into the brain. Mix the fresh fluid with the waste-filled fluid that surrounds the brain cells, and then flush the mix out of the brain and into the blood. This occurs primarily during deep sleep. There is some evidence... Why am I reading this? You didn't cite your sources! There is some evidence that an underfunctioning waste management system may play a role in the neurodegeneration that follows traumatic brain injury. So, Parkinson's wouldn't happen because of a traumatic brain injury, correct? And there's only neurodegeneration that follows traumatic brain injury, and that would impact the waste management system. As experienced by some football players, for example, it may even play a role in other brain disorders, including Alzheimer's disease. May. Since chronic sleep deprivation increases the risk of various brain diseases, it is plausible that it does so by reducing the function of the waste management system. The waste management system of the brain is completely different than you pooping, though. Where are our sources cited? Harvard, what are you doing? Oh, we'll just hide under the name of our college and we're going to forget to cite our sources. What? She's just taking this and running with it. Oh my God. Hello, Julie. Raging early on, but I got a root beer. Is this about the amyloid B plaque? They're looking at that around Alzheimer's. Maybe. That might be what it is. But Miss Ma'am is making the jump that you being constipated is what doesn't allow your brain to cleanse or whatever. Mary, gifted memberships. Holy moly! Thank you so much. Welcome to Illyria.
Horatio Gold, headmaster. So very pleased to meet you. So very, very pleased.
Hello, sir. Heard you wanted to see me.
I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to Illyria. Welcome, 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 welcome to Illyria. I just wanted to have you in to say welcome.
I love you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. She's all over the place.
It's called the glymphatic system. We've all heard of the lymphatic
Yes, well, she's right about that. The glymphatic system, correct.
system, like our lymph nodes, right? But there's something called the glymphatic system, which happens at night when we're sleeping. It
In deep sleep? Are you going to say deep sleep?
actually happens when we get into the REM stages of sleep
Well, deep sleep. Okay, yeah.
and we dream. Dreaming is actually
Do you dream in deep sleep? Do you dream in deep sleep? You can, but you don't necessarily need to. And the dreams don't mean that your brain is flushing itself correctly. God. She doesn't relay information in a way that's actually correct. She's doing it to prove her pitch so that she can sell us patches and peptides. I hate to be the person to be like, no, you're not being specific. Being specific matters because she's like, oh yeah, I'm going to scare the shit out of you. And then you're going to buy my patches. And it's like, you're not understanding this correctly. She knows enough to be dangerous. So our nightmare is a good thing for my brain then? Probably not. Human studies always have so many requirements and limitations. Any study using live subjects does. Oh, Mary, that's so kind of you. Thank you so much. And it's like super kind because other people get to enjoy the member discounts like the Discord and the emotes, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
cleaning your brain. Say this out loud. Dreaming, yeah, I know. Don't even get me started, Lynn. Dreaming is cleaning your brain.
You're full of shit. Oh, you're probably not because you're drinking your peptides. Dreaming is not necessarily cleaning your brain because you don't necessarily dream in deep sleep. And deep sleep is what people think can lead to your glymphatic system working correctly. Are we on the same page? She's positioning herself as an authority who doesn't know anything. Alexis, you walked into fuckery, honestly. We were going to be looking at a PowerPoint, but she took the PowerPoint off screen, and now, apparently, us being constipated in our intestines means that we could be constipated in our brain. So we're learning about that.
Do you know that my mother, and this is crazy because when she lived at my house, we started patching her not only with X39 and carnosine, and what we added in was aloe Vita at night and silent night. I put a patch right here of silent night because it increases melatonin, and aloe Vita on her right ankle or bottom of her right heel. And mom would wake up telling me dreams about her sister. Now, this was a woman who had not dreamt. Like literally, let me just say it plainly. We took her to the...
So she's making the jump that because of the patches, her brain could start dreaming again and her glymphatic system started working again. So her Parkinson's symptoms got better. You can't make this stuff up, honestly. And then if someone told you, oh yeah, someone's pitching this, you'd be like, what? What are you talking about? Am I like jumping to those conclusions? I don't think so. I do want to add the caveat to the things I say that I'm not an expert or anything but my work. I've just spent a very long time learning how to do and interpret research. I love that, Amy. Does she know that you put those patches on her? I certainly hope so.
Doctor for a sleep study.
Oh, she's buff as hell, for sure. I mean, kudos to her.
She spent overnight in the hospital. The results came back that my mother did not have 1 minute of REM sleep. Not a minute. The doctor said to me, the neurologist said to me, I've never seen a person that hasn't had 1 minute of REM sleep. Usually they have limited window of REM sleep. Your mother had none. I'm like, how is your brain cleaning itself? It's not. You guys get what I'm saying?
So is the REM sleep okay, here's my next question. Is REM sleep deep sleep? No. Rapid eye movement sleep is not the same as deep sleep. Fucking hell. Okay, here's what I've read in the... How long have we been live? We've been live for 33 minutes. Here's what I've learned about your glymphatic system and it flushing your cells during sleep. It happens during deep sleep, from what I understand. Maybe it's during REM sleep. But it says on multiple things I've read, it says deep sleep, which is non-rapid eye movement sleep. Okay? Okay. All right? And she's saying, well, REM sleep is what is going to help your glymphatic system cleanse itself. And it's like, do you not know what you're trying to sell us? I'm confused. What doctors is she talking to? She calls them practitioners because they're, and no shade if you're an ethical, like, naturopathic person. If you're ethical, cool. The people that she's talked about, I don't think are. And I don't even know if the person measuring her mom's REM sleep was a doctor. We have no idea, because she certainly didn't take her kid to the doctor. It seems like from her story she told when she was giving her kid 2 years worth of parasite cleanses.
Here, dreaming is cleaning. So Rocco comes up.
No, you don't necessarily dream in NREM sleep, which is deep sleep, which is where the glymphatic system is doing its stuff to, like, clean your brain cells. What? Renita, do you even know what you're talking about? I'm going to take 1,000 for no, DC. You only need 8 patches a day. Just sign up for the discount. Ugh, how much is one patch? I'm going to press play and I'm going to go look.
Up about 2 days ago.
I'm confused too. Is it the constipation or REM sleep or dreams that fixed everything?
3 days ago, which is why I decided to do this thing that we're doing today. And Rocco said to me, Mom, do you know the dreams I'm having? He said, I cannot. He said, Mom, do you know that I didn't dream for 2 years? He said, it had to be at least 2 years where I never had a dream. Never. He said, and if I did, I didn't remember it, but I never had it. He said, do you know that every single night I'm dreaming? He said, in fact, when I wake up at 7 a.m. and then realize it's 7 and I want to sleep a little bit longer and go back to sleep, I even dream in that little window. He said, I am dreaming all the time. And if I brought Rocco into the office.
Okay, so the X39, the one that she put on her kids and her mom, subscribe and save is $179.95. If you do a one-time purchase, it's $279.95. We don't even know how many come in a pack. Support the flow of natural energy, support overall health. Embark. How many are in the 30 patches? So somebody do the math. Well, I'm guessing everyone's doing subscribe and save. $179.95 divided by 30. Oh no, it's 60. You get X49 and then X39, so it's 60. So it's not too bad per patch. But you're gonna, they want you to put 2 patches on. So it's a 1 month supply per person? Oh my god, that's expensive.
Office right now, his skin color on his face looks like my skin color. Looks like my skin color, which is tan. Rocco has a tendency to be very tan like me, but that's why it was so weird. So let me just tell you in a nutshell, summarize it up, and then I'll go through the flip chart very quickly what I think happened. I believe, like Rocco, like my mom, like so many of you, like maybe me, we have something called leaky gut. And leaky gut.
Okay, and Amy told us yesterday in the stream chat, leaky gut is not the way that Miss Ma'am is describing it to be. Also, dietitian Kat Benson did do an incredible video on leaky gut. If you want to go watch that. Kat is a super ethical, calm creator who focuses on the science and doesn't and like will cite her sources.
What comes from? Did you?
It's again, go watch Kat's video on it. And I think Amy had something to say about it yesterday, but I don't remember exactly what was said. But go watch Kat's video.
Do I need to drink
Barry.
Splenda or sucralose or energy drinks or fat-free things that have sucralose or Splenda?
It's more nuanced than what the Huns say about leaky gut. It's more nuanced than that. Oh, you're good, Barry. Hope you're doing good. It's more about. I wish I could explain it. Honestly, I'll just link Kat's video. That'll be the best place to what. Okay, your channel. We're taking a pause. Kat, dietitian, Kat Benson, leaky gut. I think it's her gut health one where she talks about it, but I don't know. And that was from 3 years ago. Sorry, let me just find it real quick. Find. If I can't find it, then I'll find it later. It may be her gut one that Sheila done. I'll have to find it for y'all. Deep breathing exercises are also very important at times like these. Yeah. And maybe Eloise has done a video on it, but it's it's not the food that's leaking through, it's something else. And it may not be a medically recognized issue, but like there's I don't know well enough to be able to tell y'all about it. It may be her gut. I don't know if this is the correct video or not. We'll see. Maybe Kat can do a video on it, but it's not like it's more nuanced. Can she be reported to the FDA? She's going to be reported to the FTC, that's for sure. Because she's making claims about what her patches can do, and they're not. The FDA too, both. It's more of a symptom of actual gastrointestinal diseases, from what I understand. Yeah. Hey, Diane.
Tearing holes in our gut lining. Okay. Have you been on an antibiotic?
Do antibiotics tear holes in our gut lining or what?
Taken in any type of chemical at all?
Water chemical? Water chemical. Oxygen? Oh, also chemical? No? Okay.
Do any of you have chronic stress? All of that stuff is making those little tiny, imagine pinholes in your stomach lining, and that leaky gut is coming. So
I thought it was more in your intestines, not in your stomach. Wouldn't a hole in your stomach be an ulcer? Isn't leaky gut in your intestines? I don't know. Everyone's guts are semi-permeable. This is from the Cleveland Clinic, so the mucus lining of our intestines is designed to absorb water and nutrients from our food into our bloodstream. But some people have increased intestinal permeability or hyperpermeability. That means their guts let more than water and nutrients through. This is from the Cleveland Clinic. .org. Chronic inflammatory states such as IBD, internal bowel disease, and celiac disease can contribute. Other diseases that cause intestinal injury such as HIV or AIDS, chemotherapy and radiation therapies that degrade the intestinal mucosa, chronic overuse of alcohol or NSAIDs such as aspirin or ibuprofen, food allergies that cause immune response to certain foods. And Amy's coming in with the tea. It doesn't tear holes in your gut. It just increases the space between the cells and can let things through the membrane that shouldn't. See, Amy, thank you so much for saving us. And I'm going to link this so that everyone knows where I'm reading shit from. Yeah, grab your water, grab your meds. Hide your kids, hide your wife. And again, it seems like, why don't you talk to your registered dietitian about issues if we're potentially struggling with something like this? I don't know.
I have a theory. The reason Rocco was getting so sick when we were giving him parasite detox, like walnut.
What are you even doing adding quotations around the parasite detox that you gave your kid and made your kid sick for 2 years? It was a parasite detox, and you continued to give it to him after he showed signs that he was reacting very badly to it. And now you're like, oh, I'm going to be incredulous about it now. Oh, well, I mean, good for you that your kid survived your freaking parasite detox.
Black walnut hull, and I could go on and on. But I could talk parasite detoxes for 2.5 years. But just start eating pumpkin seeds. That'd be a good start during the full moon. Anyway, the bottom line is.
Wait, what? Pumpkin seeds during the full moon? Was she being serious? I'm rewinding it. I'm going to go to 33:15.
So I have a theory. The reason Rocco was getting so sick when we were giving him parasite detox, like black walnut hull, and I could go on and on. But I could talk parasite detoxes for 2.5 years. But just start eating pumpkin seeds. That'd be a good start during the full moon.
Pumpkin seeds during the full moon? You know, what is happening here? How did we get here? Did we think we were going to get here? This was not on my bingo card. Pumpkin seeds, ingesting pumpkin seeds during a full moon wasn't on my bingo card. This is almost as strange as listening to, like, someone say you're going to pee out your urine, or you're going to sweat out your urine so you don't have to use the bathroom. Like, what? Okay, I'm Googling it. Eating pumpkin seeds during the full moon. Where I'm probably not gonna read the stuff from Funk It Wellness. You know, there's nothing from the NIH, there's nothing from the Mayo Clinic, there's nothing from eating by the moon cycles is parasitic activity during the full moon. Oh boy. There's no real, like, evidence-based information. I'm on the 3rd page. It's either regulating your menstrual cycle or getting rid of parasites. I was homeschooled and I didn't learn much science. When I was 9, I picked up a book of science experiments and the first page said everything is made of chemicals. I love that you got to read that early on. Is she doing some kind of spell or something? She's not cleansing her crystals. Who knows? Maybe she knew Angela Sumner before Angela Sumner became a Christian.
Anyway, the bottom line is
every time she says something wild, if you're a member, throw a tinfoil hat in the chat, honestly.
When I was giving him that stuff, it wasn't staying in his stomach to kill the parasites. What was...
Oh, so it was okay that you gave it to him, but it wasn't working because he had leaky gut. So your decision to give that to him in the first place was correct, but his leaky gut prevented it from working and getting rid of the parasites. Okay. What about allegedly, what about anemia? What about that? Huh? Who knows?
Happening to it. It was going everywhere in his little system and making him sick to the point where he'd lay in the ground. He's like, Mom, I can't see straight. Like, I mean, it was like out of it. It was awful.
Then stop giving him the parasite cleanse. I was going to say, you blank a blank, but I didn't because I have self-control and I'm going to rein in my impulse control. We're working on it. You know, you chicken nugget.
And so it was literally the leaky gut was letting it all expose. So all the supplements, think about the people, if you're taking supplements, if you're taking medications on here, if you have leaky gut and your gut junctions are not like this, imagine your gut junctions having nicks and crannies in them. All of that.
Okay, not everyone has that. If you get a colonoscopy, they can look at how healthy your intestines are. Not everyone gets those little, whatever, nooks and crannies. Medications usually don't completely stay where they're put. The body likes moving stuff around. Amy, you're making too much sense today. Melissa's like, you were making him sick. You. Yeah. Stop yelling at me, lady. What had happened was you experimented on your child. Badly done. We should have got the hook. The hook soundbite. Bad form. We could have been playing it this entire time. Maybe I have it. Let me see.
Crap. All those supplements, which again, which makes the patches, these patches that we talk about, so phenomenal, right? Because nothing is entering the body. It's just coming in through light, which is why we see so much healing in so many realms. Okay. You guys understand the story? That's all done. Here's the actual presentation I put together.
Oh,
so I'm gonna
my
go through this
God.
quickly. And again, this will be available for you to watch.
Press present. Press present. What's the over under on her actually pressing present? I want to know. Oh my God. Where's this one?
Oh, look. Another glorious morning. Makes me sick.
I'm not making medical claims.
She pressed present. Hearts and hype in the chat for Renita. You did one thing right on this call. I'm going to try to find bad form. Bad. Oh, I don't have it. I'll have to find it. Hook. You do have a crash and burn, though. Paste. I'm going to find one more. What is it called? It's one where they are calling each other names and when they were eating the pretend meal, and he calls them like a science teacher or a math teacher, and then they go, bubble butt. Here we go. Fart factory. Parmesan brain. Okay, we got it. September 5th. Bubble butt.
Boil dripping, beef fart sniffing, bubble butt.
Rufio. Oh my God. This is from Hook. We're allowed to play clips, okay? If you've never seen Hook, you're missing out. Elude. Fart factory. I'm gonna have to fix this again when I go to house sit because I don't think it's gonna carry over. Please hold. We're taking a break for our mental health. And we're finding sound bites because those always make something better. Paramecium brain. Paramecium brain.
What's a paramecium brain?
I'll tell you what a paramecium is. That's a paramecium. It's a one-cell critter with no brain that can't fly. Don't mess with me, man. I'm a lawyer.
Talk to your doctor if you really have questions. I'm not your doctor. I'm just here to help.
I'm not your doctor. I'm just going to tell you that my little patches are magical and they're going to make you well.
Help you to get healthy. Okay, so the first thing I want to tell you is your food matters. I'm not going to tell you put on an X39 patch, take this peptide, and keep eating wheat. Especially if it's not fermented. Fermented grain.
Guess what? Not everybody has a sensitivity or an allergy to wheat. Not everybody is celiac. Not everybody. I mean, and again, just because you don't have an allergy doesn't mean you have that you don't have a sensitivity. I don't need a whatever it's called. I don't need like a rescue injection when I eat tomatoes. I just am sick all night long. So it's a sensitivity. It is not an allergy. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's things that you sometimes find out that you're sensitive to. That's not an allergy where you'd have to go to the hospital or you have an allergic reaction. And you're going to say, cut out wheat, cut out dairy. Your mindset is fucked, Renita.
Grains are generally okay for most people, okay, because they're fermented. But most people are not eating fermented grains. They're not eating sourdough bread every time they eat, right? They're just buying loaves of bread from the grocery store and cereal from the grocery store. So your first goal from a nutritional standpoint, very simply, eliminate gluten and possibly dairy. And what I would do is, if you're saying, I can't do that, Renita, well, can you do it for 30 days? Okay, do it for 30 days.
Oh my God, she's going to tell people to fast. One, you're not a registered dietitian, you're not a doctor, and guess what? If you're going to talk about hormones, you can fuck up some hormones with fasting. A lot of times people aren't even eating enough calories. Sometimes they are, but like, oh, this is wild.
And then on day 31, eat as much gluten as you can and tell me how you feel. That's like a test that they do. It's like a nutritional test that they do with many people to find out if they're gluten intolerant. They say eliminate it for 30 days. Plus, all of you will probably drop a pant size if you do that. Just saying.
Oh, so losing weight and getting skinny is one of the signs of how effective this is. That's great.
Hey, eliminate gluten for 30 days. And then on the 31st day, just eat a crap ton of it and see how your stomach feels. Most people won't be able to make it to noon. And they'll say, oh my gosh, I guess maybe I should not be eating gluten, right? Dairy, that's optional. Like my son, Bo, doesn't do well on dairy. As soon as he consumes dairy, he starts coughing, okay? Now I'm going to give you some solutions to help that on the.
Do you believe in inhalers, or are you one of those people that thinks that someone can get dependent upon inhalers so they're not allowed to have medication to open up their lungs? I'm just asking for a friend.
Journey, fasting. I'm a big believer in fasting and intermittent fasting. Okay, the longest I've gone is 3 days. My husband Scott has gone 9 days, right?
Intermittent fasting, you mean not eating at all? This is like an eating disorder ready to go. Load it on up.
It's good to go 16 to 18 hours fasting if you can. Do you have to do that always?
Not for everyone. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to prescribe anything. You should do intermittent fasting because it's so good for everybody. I don't even know what to say. Really, truly, I don't. This is just awful.
No, I believe in being cyclical with fasting. I don't think you have to fast all the time. I think it's good to give your body a break. Here's the thing, what happens when you fast. When you start going 18 hours without eating, the body is no longer using the energy to break down food. It's using the energy to repair what needs to be repaired. Okay?
Is that even true? Here's my next thing. Let's say you are only eating in a 6-hour window. Are you getting enough protein, carbohydrates, and fats to fuel your body? Because guess what? Your body needs a certain amount of calories to survive. All right? And if you're walking around and doing shit, it needs even more because there's your calories. If you're laying on a bed doing nothing, that's your minimum calories. And then if you're walking around doing stuff, you need more. And your body needs protein for all of its body processes to function. We already learned earlier about your brain needing sugar to function. Those carbies that I'm guessing that you're going to say you don't love, your brain needs that. Your brain needs food.
That's what happens when you
Margaret, same. Same. Your brain runs on glucose. Yes.
start fasting. So I always tell people when you fast, start slow, stop eating at 7, start eating again at 7. That'd be 12 hours. Can you push it to eat at 8, eat at 9? Now you're up to 14 hours. Don't have your first meal till 10. See how you're fasting? You're kind of pushing that fasting window.
Here's my question. Let's say your cells need protein, right? If you're fasting, your cells need protein. Protein's the building blocks of your cells. You're not eating for 18 hours. Your body's like, fuck this shit. We're going to take some protein from the muscles. Doesn't really know to wait until you decide to eat at the 19th hour that you're going to get protein then. And your brain's like, well, I need something now. Like what? How does your body decide to do all that stuff? Because if she's making the jump that fasting makes healing more effective because your body is going to spend its energy on healing you when you're not eating, how are the cells supposed to do that healing if they're not getting what they need from the food you're ingesting? Because, for example, content warning, anorexia. When you don't eat, and I'm not talking about fasting, but I'm saying when you don't eat, your body is going to take the nutrients from where it can get it. Which is why you see that some patients with anorexia go into heart failure, or they have liver damage, or it's not good. It's not good because your body's like, we need protein from somewhere. I don't know how this logics out. And if you're going to make the claim that fasting is going to make healing more effective, then why wouldn't medical teams use fasting in conjunction with like big time disease treatment? I don't think the science is in this situation.
When you fast,
I could be wrong though. I don't have any fancy letters after my name, so.
Start slow. Probiotic. You all need, if you've been on one antibiotic, studies show it takes 700 days to replant the microbiome from one antibiotic. So if you've been on a 1 month, one antibiotic on here and you're not.
If you're eating probiotics, though, as you take your antibiotics, which you can if you talk to your pharmacist on how to do that, you're not necessarily wiping your gut microbiome out. Talk to your pharmacist, okay?
Taking a probiotic, you should be taking a probiotic. I've got a great one I will suggest. In the meantime, eat sauerkraut, eat kimchi. Like you can eat things.
Amy said, I'm a type 1 diabetic on an insulin pump. There's a reason that I get a low level of insulin all day, not just when I eat, because you always need glucose and fuel.
Arugula. Arugula is amazing. It helps with enzymes and the microbiome. Arugula. I have arugula. Do you know that in Europe, by the way, over in Italy, when we were in Italy, they call it rocket, Rocket. So every time you order pizza in Italy, not only does it not have glyphosate in the dough, guess what they put on top of every pizza? Rocket. A handful of arugula. The Europeans do. Do you know why? That's digestive enzymes.
Well, really? Is that what they told you?
Right. So I eat arugula on a daily basis. Ask my family, handfuls of arugula. Okay. That's what I take for my enzymes. But if you don't want to do that, I also have a suggestion for a supplement. And then the patches that I think are very.
If you don't want to eat arugula, I also have suggestions for a supplement that I make a commission off of. Isn't that so like convenient for me?
Very important when it comes to nutrition. Let's just talk about these real quick. Is X30.
You are wiping it out actually depending on the antibiotic. Maybe so. I've been on a bunch of different antibiotics, and my pharmacist, when I always pick up an antibiotic, I have a conversation with my pharmacist about making the smartest decision I can while I'm on it. And there have been, this is just me, but talk to your pharmacist. I'm just saying it's not just a, okay, it's going to wipe everything out. If you're also, you can also do some strategic things to maybe not put you in an even worse position. And your pharmacist would be able to help you with that.
You can wear that on your neck, but if you're having digestive problems, it's going to work better under.
I hate that there are things that she's saying that are technically correct, and I agree with mixed in with all the pseudoscience BS. And I think that's what makes it twisty, Amy, is that she's saying some things that make sense, and she gets to tie the nonsensical things with that, and it makes it harder for people to parse through this fuckery.
Your belly button. Let me just say that. David Schmidt said, sometimes we need a complete reset. You can actually put the X39 while you're sleeping at night over your belly button. Have you ever heard David Schmidt say this? This is huge. Put the X39 literally over top, right directly over top of your belly button when you go to bed.
How is it supposed to stick there?
Bed at night, okay? And if not, I like to wear it below the belly button. Another great thing is
the diagram on the website does not show it over the belly button. It shows it much lower.
Carnosine. Let's talk about carnosine. Really great for digestion, for bloating. Carnosine is going to be really great at the base of the sternum. So I've showed you guys that before, right there. Can you see that? That's where you put the carnosine patch. This is going to be amazing for digestion and bloating. Okay, so if you're a person that has that, the patches do a nice job on that. Another great area, if you have a lot of bloating.
The patch is going to redirect your light that you emit back into having your body create carnitine. I don't understand. Carnosine or carnitine? Hold on. Sorry I have to Google all this. I'm not that... Carnosine is a dipeptide molecule that's made up of the amino acids beta-alanine and histidine. It's found in the body, especially in the brain and skeletal muscles, and is also present in smaller amounts in other tissues. Carnosine is available as an over-the-counter food supplement and is also used in mouth lozenges and creams. The typical dose for adults is 500 to 2,000 milligrams by mouth daily for up to 12 weeks. However, you should speak with a healthcare provider to find out what type of product and dose might be right for you. And this is also interesting. It looks like you have to cycle off of it after you've been on it for a while, and it's Renita even going to talk about that in this presentation. Maybe you don't have to when it's a fancy little patch. This would be Jessie Lee Ward if she was a parent. Oh God, I wouldn't wish that on any child, honestly. Like, her energy is very similar.
Is take your hand right here. Everybody put your hand up so I know you're listening. And pinch this area between your thumb and your pointer finger. You can put an Eon patch right there. Okay? And
one set of patches costs $179. I know I'm messing up my... another set of patches costs... Where's the Eon one? Energy Silent Nights. Alavita. Shop All. The LifeWave, Eon, whatever, that's $79 for 30. on top of the 200 or on top of the 179.95. You're talking about the glutathione patches. That's another $80 for one person for 30 patches. How is someone going to afford this? Oh, no problem. When you recruit, you're going to make money back, and then it's going to be like win-win, even though you're going to have to pay tax on what you're making commission-wise that you're using to buy all of these patches.
Eon patch right there. Say Eon. And when you put that there, that's going to really help with digestion, with the bloating, and all of that. Let me think about what else I want to say about that. Okay, that's enough for right now. Energy enhancers are going to be great on either side of your belly button. So white right, tan left on either side of your belly button. Just do like one thumb or two fingers over on either side of the belly button, and that's going to really help the digestive healing as well. And then we're going to talk about the peptide supplement BPC 157 right now. You guys ready? All right, this is the food. So I want you to know, don't just take these supplements and not change your nutrition. You have to.
Normally when you do an experiment, from what I understand, you only want to change one factor so that you know the results you're getting are from that factor you changed. Because if you change 12 different things, or in this case, 6 different things at the same time, you're not going to know what the hell fixed your shit. That's probably not the academically correct way to say that, but the smarties in the chat can help me out.
Quit
one variable at a time.
Toxifying yourself, right? Toxifying yourself for some of you is you eat way too much bread. You got to stop it for 30 days. Okay?
Oh, you eat way too much bread? Fuck this mentality.
Okay? Another thing that's really affects our gut is our stress levels. So when we noticed that white face with Rocco, he was running 60 miles a week. Listen to when it popped up.
Your child, okay, what's a good 4 and 11-year-old? Middle school kids should only be running up to 12.8 miles per week. This is from the Children's Hospital. Athletes over 15 can train up to 5 times per week. So 12.8 miles per week if they are planning on running a 10K race. Kids up to age 14 should only run 3 times per week. Athletes over 15 can train up to 5 times per week. I mean, talk to your running coach. Here's my only perspective is from my experience when I was playing full-time. Your nutrition is so important, and making sure you eat enough is so important, and also taking care of your body. But with mobility and stretching and preparation before you did your intense activity. I mean, I was playing a lot. I was playing 40 or 50 hours a week. But it wasn't who knows? I don't know. None of this stuff looks like I'm making sure my kid is getting enough to eat, though. And I sure hope he was.
Stress. He was right.
If I'm testing the effect of one thing on another, I have to look at something without either thing. Look at something with each thing by itself, then I can look at the combination. Yep.
Running 60 miles a week. Okay. How many of you know that stress is affected with our gut? Has your phone ever rang at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Here's a question. Does high activity lower iron in the body in anemic people? So here's my conspiracy theory, okay? I saw the pictures that she showed. My dad's has low iron. I do too. And when you're in a low iron spot, your face kind of can go white. My conspiracy is that instead of having parasites, he was anemic. And that could also have been contributed to by what he was allowed to eat and also his high activity level, which can lower iron in your body. Oh my God. Exercise increases hepcidin, a hormone that reduces the body's ability to absorb iron from food and recyclable iron. Healthy adults absorb only 10 to 15% of dietary iron. And exercising can cause iron loss through sweating, microscopic amounts of blood and urine, and the destruction of red blood cells. Vigorous exercise can cause intravascular hemolysis. This condition breaks down red blood cells in the bloodstream, releasing iron that is lost in urine. I don't think that's what he was struggling with, but people with severe iron deficiency anemia should limit physical activity until their anemia is corrected. However, moderate exercise is generally safe and beneficial for people with anemia as long as they avoid or modify certain activities. That's it. That's my conspiracy theory.
How do you instantly feel in your gut? When your phone rings at 2 a.m., do you feel, oh, like someone's calling to say hello? How do you
It's called do not freaking disturb.
feel in your stomach at 2 a.m.? Like what happened, right? So that is how our gut-brain connection is, you guys. Our gut is responsible and really holds that stress, right?
Athletes are prone to iron deficiency because regular exercise increases the body's need for iron in several ways. I'm just wondering because all of our kids were super athletes, so I've got some questions.
And that's why we say, well, I just felt it in my gut. Like when something wasn't right, I just felt it in my gut. Have you guys ever?
Did you feel it in your gut when you were giving your kid parasite cleanses for 2 years and watched him on the floor where his eyesight was going in and out and didn't take him to the emergency room? Was that something in your gut that you thought you were doing the right thing? I hope that you have the opportunity to apologize to your kids when, I don't know, they get older.
Said that? That's true. That's called gut instinct. We need to listen to that, right, guys? So Rocco was running 60 miles a week.
That is, in fact, not how the gut-brain axis works.
He was getting completely belittled by his track team because he was beating all the seniors and they were getting knocked off, and Rocco got elevated to go to state and the seniors didn't. So they were bullying Rocco while he was running. Imagine this kid going out running 8 miles a day and the seniors are coming next to him, calling him dirty names and bullying him. And that same week, our dog Zoe died. So it was like
I try not to be judgmental, but what a shitty thing to do to a kid. And again, kids cannot consent. They cannot provide informed consent. A lot of times they cannot defend themselves, so they're at the mercy of their parents. And great, when you have ethical parents, amazing. When you don't have ethical parents or you have parents who end up harming you because of their own, I don't know, limited information and also ignorance, it's like, God, this is awful. Hemolysis? Okay. How is this relevant? I think she's gearing us up for either herself to look good or the patches to look good. Where did your gut get its PhD, ma'am? Hemolysis? Cool. Thanks, Shelby.
like a triple whammy for that kid, right? Zoe was his best friend. Okay. So Zoe died, bullying from the buddies, and too chronic inflammation of running, like too much. 60 miles a week is too much, right? You guys get what I
Then don't have your kid run that. Can I've done a live stream with Amy on this before on my channel. I've talked about this consistently. If you have kids in sports, you get to advocate for them, okay? And if a coach makes you feel inferior for stepping in to protect your kids, you need to find a different coach. If you knew your kid running 60 miles a week was not healthy for your kid, you should have stepped in. You should have. You should have.
Saying, and that's when boom, that first symptom of that white face appeared, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And we thought it was parasites.
60 miles a week as a relatively young kid, and you're going to say, we're going to skip over all of the signs that are pointing to potentially anemia and go to parasites. Okay. Continue on, Renita.
This whole time. Well, after doing thousands, I'm telling you, when I say 100,000, I think I'm lowballing it. Let's say I just did $80,000 worth of supplements in a two.
$80,000 worth of supplements in 2 years. How much is that per day? 80,000. Oh, let's just do 40,000 divided by 365. 40,000 divided by 3. I'm just kidding. That's $109 a day for 2 years. $109.60 a day. He's 17 now, but I think when he was running 60 miles a week, I think he was 13 or 14. 14 is 9th grade. So he was running 60 miles a week at 14, which is hell of a lot. This is the worst part of the internet you could have walked in on. It's a multi-level marketing, health and wellness fluffery with religious manipulation and pseudoscience-y shit. She's got 3. Unfortunately, the one that had all these health issues is the youngest. My child is in gymnastics, and we chose one that not accelerated because it's just for her enjoyment. We're not trying to make her an Olympian. And again, that's incredible that you're being involved in her coaches and her sport, because any sport you can kind of end up in a twisty part you didn't expect, and your child's best advocate is you, and you teaching your child how to advocate for themselves is second best option. But you stepping in for your kid and protecting your kid is a privilege to be able to do that. But it's something that a lot of coaches don't tell you or make you feel comfortable in doing it, and you absolutely should do it.
2.5-year period. And when none of them really worked that well, the patch brought back the mitochondria. The patch changed a lot of things with my mom's health. The patch changed things with Rocco's eyes. The patch was changing things.
The eyes from, Rocco's the different kid. Never mind. No, it's not. Rocco's the young kid. The one who had issues with his eyes when he was doing the parasite cleanse for 2 years, right? So you created a problem and then you solved a problem, right? Is that what I'm hearing? Is it kind of like Prove It creating the ketones that have a problem with people's, I don't know, intestinal system, and then they give you Mitoplex so you stop having diarrhea? Is that the same situation? Oh no, that's probably different. Sorry, Brian Underwood.
Things again and again. But then I'll tell you, one of the biggest things that changed now is this other peptide. Okay, but let's talk about box breathing for stress relief. If you cannot sleep, what I suggest
your kid wouldn't have needed stress relief if you weren't giving him a parasite cleanse for 2 years and watching him in pain, writhe on the floor, lose his ability to see, and wonder why his parents aren't stepping in to help him or take him to the freaking ER. So he wouldn't have had to do box breathing or anything like that. Or if you had stepped in and talked to the coach about the kids not bullying your son, I don't know. There's lots of things that could have happened where you wouldn't need to do the box breathing, even though box breathing is great. Why am I so mad? Kids getting harmed makes me angry. $80,000. It's probably closer. She thinks it initially 80 and on the low side, 100,000, over 100,000 on the high side over 2 years. She could have done like a $1,500 copay at the top end, probably with her insurance, and gotten her kid help.
do is visualize a box, like literally.
I think her spending all that money because it shows how well she does in her company makes her feel good. that she spent all that on pseudo bullshit for her children.
In your mind, think about a
That's in my opinion. I'm being an asshole right now.
square. Okay, can we all do this? Let's practice this right now. Think of a square. I do this all the time. It works like a gym. And let's say you wake up and your mind is racing. You can't get back to sleep.
There's more ways to manage your anxiety than just doing box breathing, and I love box breathing. You can talk to your therapist. You can pick 5 things you can see, and you would say it out loud. You can be mindful of your body and feel yourself sitting and what other parts of your body are like touching something else. Like I'm sitting in a chair, I can feel my seat, I can feel my knees bend, I can feel my feet on the floor, I can feel my feet inside my Crocs. Like there's a lot of different things that you can do to redirect your anxiety. Coloring is great. Playing cards is great. Counting works too. Crocheting or knitting. Something that gets you out of that spiral. Breathing also. It's not just one thing.
I want you to do 4 seconds breath on each side of the box. So we inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 4. Inhale, exhale. I don't even make it 2 boxes around when I fall back to sleep. Okay?
Oh, good for you.
Box breathing works. I teach it to people all the time because it's free. So easy. Movement and stretching. How many of you know movement is medicine? Movement releases motion, releases emotion.
Movement releases emotion. Yeah, if you're able-bodied, I'm glad you can move. I just started being able to move again. And sometimes it still knocks me out for the day after. Like, some people don't even get the privilege to move. If you're able-bodied, like, that's incredible. And feel like, genuinely, have gratitude for that. Because losing it fucking sucks.
If people are stressed out, what's the best thing you can do? Go for a walk.
You know what? Maybe this is the brokenness in me. When I was in pain, we didn't know what was going on. I was in and out of the ER, and I had gone from being someone who was doing marathons and half marathons to being able to stream, but that was really like it. I couldn't walk. I didn't feel good. Obviously, like we were trying to figure out what was wrong. Someone telling me, hey, just go exercise, it'll make you feel better, was almost rage-inducing because I couldn't. And I couldn't explain to that person who is able-bodied that I couldn't do that anymore. And it wasn't an option for me at the time. And now 4 years later, I can start moving again, but I'm still using my walker. So that's great if you can. Also, as we're listening to this lady spew all this shit, be mindful of your own limitations, what your doctor is doing with you, or if you have a physical therapist or whatever. Take all she's saying with a grain of salt, because, like, she's the type of person that, to me, would say, like, oh, go run, 5 miles, and I'm sure it's going to make your headache feel better.
Right? Movement, stretching. Okay, another thing that really helps with stress reduction is getting our eyes synchronized with the sun. Morning eyes on sunrise, right? Every morning getting up with the sun. And
what if you can't sleep? What if you have insomnia? Hey, Tori. I'm asking questions because, like, it's not me trying to debunk everything she's saying. There's so many other situations that this doesn't work for. What if you also have the night shift and you're one of those incredible nurses or incredible, like, people who have to maybe, like, clean the hospitals at night, or if you are a first responder and you work the night shift, I don't know, what if you're one of the construction crews that work at night? How is this gonna work?
Then sunset, eyes on the sunset again. Prayer, meditation we're using during that, right? All those things are going to help with stress reduction. I know a lot of really stressed out Christians taking handfuls of nutraceuticals and pharmaceuticals. They should be on this. Okay. They need to get in sync with just more than only prayer. There's other options when we get into regenerative medicine. And as Christians, we should be the ones saying, I'm going to try that because it's natural. Right. So, and then the patches.
Meditation's great. Maybe we stay away from the transcendental meditation cult. Just there's some culty aspects of some of the meditation groups. I'm just throwing that out there for our high control group awareness. Just letting you know, meditation's great. Yoga, great. If you can do it.
Used to reduce stress, X39 literally affects 700 nervous system genes. 700 nervous system genes. It's in this book right here called GH.
The patches impact 700 nervous system genes. Where's the study on that? Let me go back.
Oh, and then the patches to use to reduce stress, X39 literally affects 700 nervous system genes.
Cite your sources. You know what? Where's Sutton? Let me make a bullshit folder. I'm gonna do that. I know some of y'all don't like Sutton, but here we go. Choose. Name them.
Name them.
Genes. 700 nervous system genes. It's in this book right here called GHK copper peptide. Okay, by Dr. Picard. He tells
Lauren Picard. Researcher. He died in 2024. A biochemist. Okay, I want to GHK copper peptide products from Dr. Lauren Picard. There's the book. He published it in 2017. I'm just resetting your genes to youth today. Oh my god, whoever made this book cover needs to be fired. Lauren Picard, PhD. So not a medical doctor, no biggie. Lauren Picard, PhD. I want to know, like, what... Maybe he didn't die in 2024. Owner Skin Biology, 30 years, 10 months. Prosite Corporation, 1985 to 1991. Research at Benaroya Research Institute, 5 years, 1 month. He was a navigation equipment specialist for 2 years in the U.S. Army. He got his PhD from the University of California, San Francisco, biochemistry of human aging, and then he got his BA, chemistry and mathematics, pretty impressive, University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. I mean, getting a BA in chemistry and mathematics, that's not anything to, turn my nose up at. I don't know if, like, his science pans out, though. Yes. What does changing genes mean? There's like 4 or 5 major things people look at to determine that stuff. Good question, Amy. And anyone can self-publish. Oh! There's a 14-minute video we can't watch right now. But we can watch it another time.
In the field of regenerative medicine and
We're going to save this. Watch later. We've fallen down a rabbit hole a little bit, I feel like, but we're gonna have to watch this later.
Tells you that this peptide, which is activated by X39, affects 700 nervous system genes. And of course, the EON patch is amazing at balancing that sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous.
X39, I think it's $80. or it's either 80 or more, because X39 plus the X other one, those together are on sale for $179.99 if you subscribe and save. The Eon ones are $80. You want to get both, so that's $160 to reduce stress. Okay.
System. All right, sleep. Reduce.
Who made this slide? We're just randomly gonna put. Sorry. Well, let me take my spider web off. Look at this. The ones on the normally. Okay. You could do rule of thirds. This is not rule of thirds. They just randomly got the side of it and they decided to type sleep. They could have done the same thing they were doing for the slide before, and they could have just changed the color. So here's what she's doing. She's giving you all of these tips that are free, that are not associated with her product, to improve your sleep. And then, the easy answer at the bottom, X39, Eon, Alaveda, Silent Nights. Tell me more, except don't.
Blue light after dark. That's hard for all of us.
Well, there are mutations like those. There's also no actual mutation modifications that affect how things are expressed. Amy, why are you so smart? Rabbit holes, fox trails, rabbit trails, squirrel trails, love them. Which nervous system genes? Can she name one? Yeah, name them. Freaking heck.
Name them. Name them.
Especially if you have a home-based online business, right? But start using some blue light blockers and try to do your meetings earlier in the day. Establish a bedtime.
Oh, what the privilege. Oh, you can just do your meetings earlier in the day? Who gets to decide that? If you're the CEO of the company, maybe you get to decide the meetings, or I don't know, maybe you can't do it earlier during the day. What? That's just so easy. Just do them earlier during the day. Okay.
Routine. Don't go to bed one night at 10 and the next night at 2. Deep breathing visualization. Very, very important to do deep breathing visualization. I do that as I drift off to sleep. Before I do the box breathing, I visualize exactly what I want to happen. I thank God in advance for it, and then I do the box breath and I go to sleep.
Oh, is that why you're at the top of your pyramid scheme? I mean, LifeWave compensation model? Because you visualized it and then you thanked God for it because for some reason he gives a fuck about multi-level marketing? Listen, if y'all don't like cursey words, my channel is probably not the right one for you. I know Erin Bees doesn't cuss on her channel. Hannah Alonso doesn't cuss on her channel. Julie Joe doesn't cuss on her channel. Who else? Isabella Lanter, I think beeps out her cusses. There's lots of the big creators that either beep out their cusses or don't cuss. So like, be free to go to their channels because that's not gonna happen here. Oh, good night, Lisa. Thanks for hanging out.
Okay, and then this peptide.
I'm reading smut as I fall asleep. Let's go, Jesse.
Okay, BPC 157. All right, the patches for sleep, guys. A lot of people. I slept on X39. My mom started dreaming again with Elavita on her right heel or right here on your ankle. Okay, it's called right underneath your right ankle. It's called home sleep.
Isabella's awesome. I was just trying to I know some of them bleep out, and I love Isabella. I was like, I think Isabella beeps it out. I don't know. I have transcriptomics data and mutation data. There's data about how accessible genes are and how much protein gets produced. All of that stuff isn't necessarily directly related. No one wants to see your feet, lady. I should have gotten that screenshot. Here, we're going back. Here, hold on. Is this going to be an asshole of me? Maybe. I'm changing my cover image immediately.
Called right underneath your right ankle. It's called home sleep in Chinese medicine. You put the Elavita patch there, okay? My mom put a silent night right here. Some people like to put it under their right ear as well. Okay, so silent night patches. And again, we're just bringing in light. We're not having anything filtered through the stomach, the liver, or the kidney.
You're not bringing in light. You are redirecting light from the body that emits infrared light back into the body. You just said that's how it worked at the beginning of this presentation that we watched yesterday. You think it's just a misspeak? Maybe it's just a misspeak, you know? Maybe it's not. It's frustrating because she keeps changing what she's saying. I'm distracted because I'm trying to put her feet on. Oh yes, this is definitely what we want.
Okay, so those are the phototherapy patches to wear with sleeping. Okay, now we're going to go to BCP 157. All right, we're not going to go into any more patches because those of you who are on here, you can talk to the person who invited you. If you're interested in getting started with the patches, I think it'd be a great idea for you because again, the patches don't have to filter through stomach, liver, and kidneys. All right, moving on to the peptide. This is one more thing that I wanted to show you. Let me just show you this because I had a screenshot of it. I might as well. Here it is, right here. So this is wild. Here are some ways the gut microbiome can impact health. The gut microbiome helps break down.
She's reading this from fucking Facebook. Oh, but there's links there. She got this from Google AI. No, I know this is Google AI because that's how it lists all the links. Oh my god. Sorry. After all of this fuckery, we're putting the feet. We're putting the feet on this.
Food produces vitamins and fatty acids. So imagine, as good as we ate, if we have leaky gut, it's all leaking out. The reason people get diseases for one of two reasons. Do you guys know why? Number one, they get disease because they're toxic. Okay. Number two, they get diseases because they're chronically malnourished. That means we're not.
Ma'am, you better not say this with a straight face. You better not say this with a straight face. Your child? What? Oh, you're being so mean to her, DC. This MLM is really wild, honestly. Ugh, peptides, yeah.
We have 90 vitamins, minerals, trace minerals, amino acids that we need in our body. 90 of them. Hey, guys? So we've got vitamins.
90? I thought it was 9. No, I'm probably wrong. I know they're not peptides. I thought there was 9 peptides. How many amino acids need to be in the body? 20? The human body needs 20. 20 essential needs 20 amino acids to function properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9. There's non-essential amino acids. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Conditional amino acids. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So there's 9 essential amino acids. There's 5 non-essential amino acids. And then there's 6 conditional amino acids. 20 total. 20 total. 20? Oh my god, Kitty! No way! Thank you so much! Welcome to Illyria!
Horatio Gold, headmaster. So very pleased to meet you. So very pleased.
Hello, sir. Heard you wanted to see me.
I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to Illyria. Welcome to Illyria. I just wanted to have you in to say welcome.
Welcome! And also, Kitty, thank you so much.
I love you.
Minerals that we need. We've got trace minerals, we got amino acids. And if we're not getting those 90 elements, guess what's happening? Our bodies are not functioning well. So a lot of people are getting disease because they're nutrient deficient, it's called. Okay. But the second thing is toxic. Well, that's all the food supply, right? Right. Not everybody's eating rocket on their pizzas here in the US, right? So those two reasons are why we get disease. So the bottom line is, look what this says. 70% of the immune system's in the gut. It says when the intestinal barrier is compromised, leaky gut. Say it with me, leaky gut. Harmful substances can reach the bloodstream and cause inflammation. That's every autoimmune disease. Inflammation can lead to conditions like arthritis.
You are reading this from a screenshot from Google AI, in which it doesn't know how to read scientific papers. Oh my god, Andy's Web!
Well, we're moving on up to the side, to the deluxe apartments in the sky.
Thank you! 14 months? Holy crap. A leaky gut is not as prevalent as these MLMs say. Yeah, and it's more nuanced. I think it's more nuanced for sure. And the info that Amy's been sharing has been super, super interesting about that. Amy got a membership, Diane got a membership, Nick got a membership, Shelby got a membership, and Tanya got a membership. Sweet. There are some AI programs that do actually read papers. I've used one, but only to get the references. That's cool. Did y'all... What's wild is, like, you still need really sharp minds like Amy's and other people in the sciencey space to be able to understand this. Because sometimes AI can run amok. For example, there was a lawyer in New York who was writing his whatever he needed to for court via ChatGPT, and ChatGPT was referencing cases that didn't exist, and he got in trouble with the judge, and then his response to getting in trouble with the judge was also written in ChatGPT. He got in big trouble. Oh my god. It may be medically unrecognized, but it's more nuanced, and it is something that your medication and your conditions you have. I don't know. Amy said it better earlier on in the stream, and you can also ask dietitian Kat Benson. I'm not going to be the best person to tell y'all about it.
Yes, they got pain everywhere, right? Diabetes, kidney disease, colitis, right? Parkinson's disease. Here you go. A study found that people with ulcers, acid reflux, or stomach lining damage. My mom had acid reflux. I remember as a kid, my mom belching after every meal. That's acid reflux. They're 76% more likely to develop Parkinson's disease. Do you know why my mom could have prevented Parkinson's disease if she had an appropriate doctor or someone nutritional?
She did not just say this. You freaking lint licker. I'm going to rewind it. I'm rewinding it.
Pain everywhere, right? Diabetes, kidney disease, colitis, right? Parkinson's disease. Here you go. A study found that people with ulcers, acid reflux, or stomach lining damage. My mom had acid reflux. I remember as a kid, my mom belching after every meal. That's acid reflux. They're 76% more likely to develop Parkinson's disease. Do you know why my mom could have prevented Parkinson's disease if she had an appropriate doctor?
What does the study actually say? Is the research actually something that is trustworthy? Or I don't know what kind of study was done. Her saying that her mom could have prevented her Parkinson's if her doctor had treated her. It says more likely to develop. It could more likely, not. Everyone take a deep breath. Take a drink of whatever you're drinking. Go take your meds. Color something. Lurk and play a game. I don't know. I'm gonna update the I'm updating the I'm updating the cover photo because the lint licking that has happened so far in this situation called for it. You know what I mean? It just had to happen. File, export as. I'm definitely, my mom would not be happy with me right now, but I don't really care. I am changing the thumbnail in 3, 2, content, 1. We can't focus unless, change. It's changed. Yep. There we go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I cannot believe that she just victim blamed her mom, but are we surprised? Not really. I mean, maybe we're surprised.
Or someone nutritionally educating her? She didn't, because insurance doesn't cover the stuff that I'm talking about. Insurance doesn't cover patch.
Yes, you can pay me full price and get stuck in a pyramid scheme, and you can be giving me all of my commissions so I can live a super luxurious lifestyle and waste $100,000 on pseudoscience bullshit. Yeah, come pay full price for this stuff.
Insurance doesn't cover me, right? Insurance covers stupid things that keeps people sick. All right. So when you look at that, that was just a little bit more about that. Now getting into BPC 157. Let's get there. So this supplement right here. And by the way, I have a full script account. Now, if you choose to get this one, great. I have a 25% discount on this. I put a gut.
You can't see it because your light is just blowing the white balance to hell.
Reset together, because you don't just need to take this. You need to make sure you're on an excellent probiotic, right? You need to make sure you have excellent enzymes, or at least are.
So should we wait to take that product until we've been taking a probiotic for 4? Should we wait to take that fancy peptide until we've been taking the probiotic for 4 months? If it's even determined we need a probiotic by, I don't know, testing from a doctor? Because you can't really tell a difference, from what I understand, with a probiotic until it's been in your system. You've been taking it consistently for 3 to 4 months. Or do you have a probiotic to sell us? I'm guessing she has a probiotic to sell us.
Eating enzymes with arugula. You can eat the kimchi. You can eat the sauerkraut.
Kitty, thank you.
All those things are going to help the digestive process.
Break.
Horatio Gold, headmaster.
Oops.
So very pleased to meet you. So very, very pleased.
Hello, sir. Heard you wanted to see me.
I'd like to say welcome. Welcome to Illyria. Welcome, 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 welcome to Illyria. I just wanted to have you in to say welcome.
I love you.
All right. Thank you. Amber got a membership from Kitty. Luna, we had to change the thumbnail to the foot one because she kept showing us where we were supposed to position the patches. So I was like, thought I'd help her out to accurately describe the fuckery going on in the live stream.
Right? Betaine hydrochloride is for people that don't have enough stomach enzymes, because they told us to stop eating this. When they told us to stop eating salt, real salt, guess what? Our stomach needs real salt. It's called hydrochloric acid. Okay?
What? I don't... The amount of stuff I don't know, the amount of stuff that I'm Googling, the amount of stuff that I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? People like her make me crazy. As a nurse, she makes it very difficult to educate patients who buy into her big pharma BS. They tell me that they don't trust their doctors and stuff. Yeah. It's awful. I was one of those people when I was in Young Living. It's still hard to plug into like allopathic medicine. Just science-based, evidence-based stuff. It's very difficult. I still remember everything that I bought into when I was in Young Living. I still have a hard time burning candles. I still get scared when I go into a grocery store and I walk past the cleaning aisle. I still like am worried that I'm eating something that's going to make me sick because of those, toxic things in there. So it's like once you buy into it, it's hard to step away from it. Yep. Here we go. Just make sure to go into settings and link your YouTube channel that you got gifted the membership on. Betaine hydrochloride increases stomach acid. How do you know I don't have enough stomach acid? What test do I take for that? That's a good question, because guess what? You can fuck up your stomach acid balance by taking too much digestive enzymes. People get 10 times the amount of salt they need often by just eating regular foods. Liz, good point. I bought into some of that stuff too, DC. Now I look back and think about all the ways I was gaslit about healthcare. Yeah.
Like hydrochloric chloride. I mean, think about this, you guys. Sodium chloride is what salt is. And so our bodies...
Sodium chloride is salt. Hydrochloride what?
Is what salt is. And so our bodies needed hydrochloric acid.
How close is sodium chloride is soluble in hydrochloric acid. However, the reaction does not produce any significant change because both NaCl and HCl are strong electrolytes and exist as ions in solution. We're in a quagmire right now. So are they saying that it doesn't really impact the hydrochloric acid in your stomach? Nope, she's not anything, Luna. She didn't finish her PhD. Lots of people don't. Cool. She is making the claims that she reads a lot, and that's why she can tell us about all this stuff. Yeah, hydrochloric acid and salt are very different things. And from what I understand, eating salt doesn't change the hydrochloric acid in your stomach.
To be able to break down food. Well, they told us to quit eating this. So no one's digesting their food. So I'm pretty crazy.
Y'all, if you're a member, tinfoil hats in the chat. We just need a bunch of them. What is happening? So we can't digest our food because we don't put real salt on our food, and the real salt not getting into our the stomach acid in our stomach is what is not breaking down food? Can someone who has like a sciencey degree just like calm me down and say like me being shocked by like her fluffery is normal? Because like what is happening? Are we in the Twilight Zone right now? She has a PhD in ChatGPT. Oh my god. Thank you, Chrissy. I also give out memberships. I gave them out yesterday, but I give them out once a month, so stay tuned. Don't mess around with your biological systems. With a master's in Google AI. Yeah. My toilet says otherwise, ma'am. I'm in fact digesting my food. I have a degree in molecular biology. This is all bullshit. Shelby? Thank you. Thank you, Amy. Good God.
About electrolytes. All of you should be eating electrolytes every single day because that's going to just improve a digestion.
She just licked salt off of her hand and she's drinking her water now.
Digestion right there. Very, very important. So I put on the list this BPC 157.
Sunscreen's also important, but are you one of those crunchy people who don't believe in sunscreen? Because, like, sunscreen's important, lady. I'm just gonna direct your attention to, like, your sunburn.
Now, let me tell you the things I learned about this. I researched this for at least 12 solid hours.
Honestly, I'm surprised she's drinking water out of a plastic bottle. So, I mean, color me surprised.
Before I hit the buy button for my family, maybe longer than 12, because I was listening, I was writing, I take notes like a crazy person. So I'm just going to tell you about what this peptide does. Okay. And again, I'm not telling you to treat, cure, prevent disease. I'm just telling you what.
You just told us that the patches and the peptides are helping improve the health of your family in untreatable or undiagnosable conditions, and also untreatable, I mean, for all intents and purposes, untreatable conditions like Parkinson's. Oh, I didn't say that outright. I mean, rewatch the entire live stream from yesterday and today and, like, tell me that she's not making all those claims.
What I found out.
Listen, how many hours does it take to get a PhD? Because I think it's more than 12. I don't know, Amy. Let me know.
Peptides actually naturally created by the stomach. Okay. It's called BPC 157. BPC stands for body protective compounds. Okay. 1557. It's literally created by the stomach acid. Now, a few things that you really need to know about this is it's one of the best. There's the three best peptides to heal up the tight junctions. What I realized about Rocco is I was giving him all the right supplements.
I didn't make any mistakes in misdiagnosing my child. I was doing all the right things, but his body was actually not accepting of the right things. And so I just had to get his body to accept all the right things, and then the true healing started. You know how fucked that sounds? Super. A lot. I started in September 2018. Holy shit. So what you're saying, though, is that it's probably a little bit more than 12 hours. Right, Amy? Oh.
The right stuff. But what was happening? It was all leaking out.
His body just wasn't healthy enough to accept the right things that I was giving him because I can do no wrong.
It was leaking out.
6.5 years for a PhD for me. As a lawyer, I have to say this lady seems to be the medical equivalent of a sovereign citizen. Liz? That's such a good description. Oh my God.
Into his system. You guys understand what I'm saying? How many of you are taking handfuls of supplements and they don't seem to be working? Raise your hand.
Maybe because you don't need them, or maybe they don't do what the person who sold you them claimed for them to do. Guess what? When you're taking fat-soluble vitamins, you need to be careful about taking them, because when your body doesn't use them or you're taking too much of them, they get stored in your fat tissue. And then if you lose weight, it re-releases that into the body. And that's how sometimes you can overdose on vitamin supplements. I don't say that to scare you. I say that to say work with your medical doctor and make intelligent decisions based off of actual data, like a blood test. For example, I have to take vitamin D because my vitamin D is low. And guess what? I get that blood test redone every 3 months so that I know what I should be taking and not taking. Good golly.
Hey, you know who you are. Well, you know what I say? Shut the front door. Shut the front door. So everything I'm telling you today, phototherapy patches are going to help. Use the patches because
all the patches are going to help, but you should be taking those anyways. The thousands of dollars it's going to cost a month to make sure all of your family can patch, like, that's just a cost you don't need to worry about. You just need to pay it. And when you put the patches on, your patches are going to work even better when you take the peptides.
Because they're going to help. Okay. That's going to help a whole slew of things. But when you talk about leaky gut specifically, let me tell you this. There's 3 that heal the gut. One's called arazotide, and that heals tight junctions, but guess
what? You cannot say something heals something when you're talking about a supplement. The FDA regulates supplements. It doesn't approve them, but it regulates the industry. And they have certain conditions because it's not prescriptions about what you can and cannot say a supplement can do. Miss Ma'am.
what? The drug companies have scooped that up and said, no worries, you can't have that peptide. We're making drugs that do that right now so we can sell it to our patients, right? The second peptide that is amazing for healing the gut.
You've been trying to sell us something for the past 2 days. Are you serious right now?
That is VP.
I'm going to hate on Big Pharma, but I'm also want you to buy all my stuff. I'm not saying there's not problems with research and money being put behind like potentially more effective drugs because they don't have enough ROI. But in general, we have incredible medicine because we're able to make that medicine and because research has been done to give us things that actually help people live longer and live like a more fulfilling life when you have like chronic conditions, or even the science and the research. It's so advanced, like we can have surgeries can be done in vitro. Is that the right word? Like in the womb, and help things so like the baby can like be carried to term, when in the past maybe that wouldn't have happened. Like there's medical progress that's been great. And is our healthcare system fucked a little bit? Sure. But to not say and to not acknowledge the good things that are out there, I think that's a misstep.
PC 157. The third peptide that's amazing for healing.
Drug development is such a complicated process. It is. In utero. Sorry. I said the wrong word for sure. As soon as I said it, I was like, oh, I did that wrong.
The gut is GHK-Cu. That would be X39 patch.
Yes.
Those are the 3 primary peptides to heal the gut. So should you all be on X39? Hands down, absolutely. And if you've had a chronic gut condition, would it be a wise idea to get...
I definitely... I messed that up. Thank you. Live chat for the win.
On BPC 157. Now, here's the thing about this peptide. If you Google it, you're going to find stupid things along the way. Okay? So here.
There it is. I'm going to prepare you for all the things that you don't want to read. Regulatory compliance. The FDA also emphasizes the importance of regulatory compliance for any new drug or therapeutic agent. In the case of BPC 157, the regulatory process, including rigorous testing and approval, had not been completed to the standards set by the agency. Their pentadecapeptide, BPC 157, in the central nervous system. This is above my intelligence level. I'm going to link it in the chat. That's from the NIH, FDA, BPC 157. We're going to read this together because Miss Ma'am doesn't want us to understand what the hell is going on. Certain bulk drug substances for use in compounding that may present significant safety risks. Category 2 of the bulk substance nominated under Sections 503A or 503B of the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. BPC 157. Compounded drugs containing BPC 157 may pose risk for immunogenicity for certain routes of administration and may have complexities with regard to peptide-related impurities and active pharmaceutical ingredients, API, characterization. FDA has identified no or only limited safety-related information for the proposed routes of administration. Therefore, the agency lacks sufficient information to know whether the drug would cause harm when administered to humans. So this means like when BPC 157 is used in compounded drugs, right? FDA BPC 157. This link is not one I'd want to use because it's optimized performance medicine. This is the link that we just looked at. This is the USADA. BPC 157 experimental peptide prohibited. Is she going to tell anybody that the experimental peptide BPC 157 is prohibited under the World Anti-Doping Agency, which for athletes? For kids and athletes, so she's not going to say we shouldn't be taking that, but okay. Prohibited list in the category of unapproved substances. Furthermore, the substance is not approved for human clinical use by any global regulatory authority and may lead to negative health effects. Because, okay, it hasn't been studied. It's prohibited. Therapeutically, the synthetically produced peptide BPC 157 is not currently approved for use as a human drug. It is an experimental compound that has been investigated for inflammatory bowel disease and soft tissue healing, although there is a concerning lack of published clinical trial data because studies appear to have been canceled or stopped without any published conclusions. Oh, those are those pesky things, those negative, stupid things you're going to read online. Even though there are no studies or clinical trials that show BPC 157 is safe or effective in humans, some websites related to performance-enhancing drugs advertise that it can be injected or taken orally for bone and joint healing, stomach ulcers, organ damage, and a number of other purposes, including athletic performance enhancement. It is important to realize that there are unproven claims and that the use of BPC 157 for these or any other reason is not supported by medical literature or any medical association. Other websites advertise BPC 157 as a research chemical that is not for human use, and yet the same websites have suggestions for how someone could use it. Athletes are advised to never use a product that is marketed for research only. This is from the World Anti-Doping Agency, essentially. So it's interesting that Miss Ma'am doesn't say anything like, hey, by the way, this is banned, so if your kid is thinking about competing at an elite level, do not give it to him. Do not give it to him.
Here's what happened to my family when I got this. It came in the mail.
I hope your kid doesn't get drug tested anytime soon. You know what I mean?
And it was sitting on the counter. Truett said, what is that? My middle son, Truett. He's 17. I said, it's a peptide that heals the gut and the brain, and it's also good for musculoskeletal things. And I said, so Truett, how's your knee? He said, my knee feels 100% after surgery. He's been patching, for 3 months, 4 months. So his knee's great. He's dunking basketballs again.
Research is a skill, and it's so sad that people aren't being taught how to do it. I remember having to take a class on it. I believe it. It's difficult to do. OMG, what if someone wants to be a firefighter and takes this stuff before their drug tests? I don't know if it from what I understand, the World Anti-Doping Agency is more for sports, but I don't know what an organization like a first responder organization would do. But I would be careful. Just saying.
I said, well, if you got any aches and pains, it'll help to heal that. I said, but it really is for the gut lining. It heals that leaky gut. It brings those tight junctions back together. Okay. And so he Googles it. He said, Mom, you're trying to give us something that's banned by WADA, the World Anti-Doping Association. Mom, are you trying to give us dope? No, I'm not.
No. They don't just ban dope, you numpty. They banned things that potentially would enhance an athlete's ability in competition, and it's fucking banned. Yeah, and again, it's like they're taking money, a lot of money for patches, and yeah, sticking them on the outside of you if they don't have anything that's being put into your body. Okay, it's a waste of money, but the supplements, it just seems awful.
I said, what's banned by WADA is the injectable. Okay.
No, they said injectable and oral. We just read it. I didn't mean to clap in front of this. I'm so sorry, live chat. We just read it. 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 It was oral and injectable. We just read it. Don't gaslight us. We just read it. Did we not just read the same thing? I'm sorry, I'm getting so mad. We're gonna go back. It says BPC 157 is prohibited under the WADA prohibited list. Yes. Didn't they say injectables and orally? Confirmed. However, fine, hold on. Even though there are no studies or clinical trials that show BPC 157 is safe or effective in humans, some websites related to performance-enhancing drugs advertise that it can be injected or taken orally for bones. Is BPC 157 prohibited? Yes, BPC 157 is prohibited. Yes, they know it can be injected or taken orally. Yes, it's prohibited. Her kid, it's gonna flag on his drug test. Her kid's gonna get flagged on his drug test. Yay! That's awesome, Diane. I keep getting myself bumped back into Top Chat purgatory. The struggle is real. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Hey, Grace Vlogs, what's up?
Okay, so if you go get injections of this, I can't tell you to go take it.
You are a chicken nugget.
You're going to have to go to a compound pharmacist, and you're going to have to get that information from your doctor. But remember what I said. The reason they put these peptides on the WADA watch list, not because they really...
It's not you being skeptical about why they're on the WADA watch list doesn't mean that it's going to take it off of the banned substances list, because it's prohibited right now, orally or injections. Oh my god.
Care. They don't really care. If they really cared, they wouldn't have Red 40 and all the freaking chemicals that you can't pronounce in all of our...
Do you understand the World Anti-Doping Agency is for performance-enhancing drugs for athletes? Like, so they're banning things that will get you booted from a competition if you show up with that in your system.
Food, and it's allowed. If the FDA really cared,
it's WADA, not the FDA. What are you doing?
Don't think for a second they care about you. They do not care about you. Do you understand me?
Did you care about your kid when you gave him parasite cleanses for 2 years, saw him writhing on the floor and losing his vision, and continued giving him those parasite cleanses instead of maybe, I don't know, taking him to the ER? Is that you caring? And then you were supposed to listen to you about organizations and them caring and you being skeptical of those? What?
They cared 1,000 of those legal chemicals in the United States that are illegal in Europe when I go there would not be legal if they actually cared. It is all about the freaking bottom dollar. With
Bold coming from someone in a multi-level marketing company at the top of a compensation model that maybe looks like a pyramid. You're telling me you're not out for the bottom dollar in a multi-level marketing company? Yeah. Good God.
our food supply. And you're about to, one thing I'm a big promoter of is this Robert Kennedy Jr. and Donald Trump ticket.
Forget it. Oh my God, do not burn my channel down. Don't burn my channel down. Don't burn my channel down. Don't burn my channel down. Okay, don't burn it down. Don't get political in the chat, okay? Just don't do it. Just don't do it. No. Here's the snark notes if you missed it. Miss Ma'am, and this is the part 2 because yesterday was part 1. Part 1 was wild. Her kids, one of her kids was sick. Her mom was also sick. Renita, the lady on the screen, has a lot of ideas about what gave her mom Parkinson's, what has helped her mom's Parkinson's, and what has helped her child, who seemed to have diagnosable issues but were undiagnosable because maybe she wasn't participating in allopathic means of the medical system, like not really going with evidence-based stuff. So she thought her child had parasites and gave her kid parasite cleanses for 2 years, despite him losing his vision temporarily and writhing on the floor in pain, until she decided that she had to give him something else because the parasite cleanses were the right thing to do, but his leaky gut wasn't letting the parasite cleanses cleanse the parasites. And she's made claims about so many sciencey things that part are right and a lot wrong, and I can't even list them at this point because it's a cluster right now. I don't even know what to say anymore. I don't even know what to say anymore. I think she's worse than Jessie Lee Ward because she's doing it to her kid and not herself. That's a great point. I couldn't do it to my own child. What? I have a question. Because, I mean, I can say this from a kid's perspective. My parents watching me, I had a couple of medical events growing up, and they got me help. And I can't imagine what kind of weight that would put on a kid to know you need help and know your parents never going to take you to the hospital to get help. Nick just saw the new thumbnail. Oh. She's literally twisted the science. Yes, everyone has parasites, allegedly, according to her doctor. That's what she said. Well, she didn't say allegedly. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Yeah. Okay. With a BS in molecular biology, I'm feeling really dumb that I just figured out snark notes. Sparks noted.
On Tuesday, you're going to want to get informed they're going to take a shotgun and clean up the scene.
I hope. What? How did we get here? How did we get here?
I learned this 22 years ago in The Politics of Cancer by Samuel Epstein textbook when I was in school for my doctorate. I told Scott.
Your doctrine or doctorate? The one that you didn't finish? The one that you didn't finish. Okay. It would be one thing to not finish something and not lord it over everybody that you had some type of advanced degree, which she does not. It is another thing for her to do what she's doing and acting like she has some sort of magical, helpful knowledge that she wants to impart to us, except she doesn't have a degree in whatever. I don't even remember what she said it was and what it was for. It was a PhD in something. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you understand what this. This is wild. This is wild. This is wild. I don't even know. I don't even know.
We can't eat anything. He's like, what? I said that everything. Hot dogs cause cancer. If you have
What are you in Young Living?
more than 10 servings of nitrates in a month with your kids, they get leukemia. Like,
what? More than 10 servings of nitrites a month, your kids are going to get leukemia? YouTube, I'm not saying that. I'm shocked by that. What?
It was all in the clinical evidence of this 1,000-page book.
What clinical evidence? Did you read the papers that were cited in the book? Have those studies held up over time? Is there new research 22 fucking years later that either helps to understand that more or debunks the hell out of what was written?
Study after study after study. I read this 23 years ago. This is redemption hour for me.
Do you understand how science works and how fast it's moving? Like, what?
In the trenches, like a hound dog for 23 years trying to sound the alarm. And now we got people like Bobby Kennedy saying the FDA is going to get pruned. They're all garbage. The CDC, the NIH, they're money laundering organizations. I'm like, hallelujah. Someone else is saying it.
So there's two of y'all that are saying it. I'm not saying that government organizations don't have fat. Sure they do. Sure they do. Sure they do. Don't get political on my channel, okay? We're just not start. Don't burn my channel down, okay?
So this is like my moment in history. I'm like, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. But I want you to know, if you Google this, because, Google, they can put whatever they want. You can Google.
As Miss Ma'am, who was reading Google AI to us earlier on in this stream and using it to prove a point, but now we can't trust Google. Make it make sense.
Let's say Jesus Christ isn't real either, right? But when you Google it, it's going to say this peptide can cause tumors. And I'm like, no, the reason.
Many studies have talked about that. Many studies. We go back to the stream that Aaron and I did. Now, maybe I didn't understand the studies correctly, but we listed some for y'all to look over about some of the twistiness that can happen when you take peptides outside of the direction of your doctor. I don't know.
And they say that is because it creates something called angiogenesis, which is a blood flow.
Peptides, angiogenesis, blood flow. Peptides, angiogenesis, blood flow, tumors. Peptides can play a role in angiogenesis, the process of new blood vessel formation and blood flow in tumors in several ways. I would love to read from Inducing Angiogenesis, a key step in Inducing angiogenesis, a key step in cancer vascularization and treatment approaches. Okay. Tumor angiogenesis causes, consequences, and challenges. Challenges and opportunities. I don't know. Angiogenesis is important in cancer biology. Cool. There's better ones that root into being helped link in the other stream. Just be cautious with peptides. I think that's like my thesis statement. Be cautious with peptides. Be cautious with supplements. Be cautious and look at the motives of these MLM people in telling you to take stuff because it's a cure-all.
It's not going to just randomly create a tumor. In fact, there is no clinical evidence.
LifeWave's been around for a chunk of time. Uh, 2004? 2004, I think. Around 2004.
There is not one clinical study showing it created a tumor.
Oh my God.
Anywhere. Isn't that crazy?
How do we even trust you, Miss Ma'am, who thought like your studies that pulled up 26,000 papers actually meant anything?
But how did that get into the verbiage of everything? Well, it increases blood flow. Well, anything. You could say that grape juice increases.
Oh my God, your logic. Like, are my brain cells dying right now?
Tumors then. You could cherry juice, and it's nitric oxide, right? Eating pomegranates. I mean, so be careful what you read.
So
read on the internet.
Yeah, be careful of what you listen to on the internet because you can listen to people like her.
I mean, I'm going to tell you what I'm telling you today is a culmination of listening to some of the world-renowned experts. I mean, I'm crazy. I've got so many books on.
Oh, I read a lot. This is giving Autumn Calabrese energy. I read a lot so I don't have to keep up my personal trainer certification. I read a lot so I didn't have to get my PhD.
Okay. Peptides. What do I do in my free time? Educate myself.
Why didn't you just get your PhD then?
All right, so let me go back.
Maybe because she'd have to take a class on how you actually read studies, and that might have put her off because she wouldn't be able to say whatever she wanted to on the internet.
Another thing they found out with BPC 157, it's neuroprotective. They found that get this, if you're still with me, they found if athletes were taking.
Athletes are banned from taking BPC 157, and if you're taking it either orally or by injection, you're gonna flag the drug test and you will probably be removed from your competition if it's at that level for the water restrictions. So good luck to your kids, Renita. I say that because like if they're taking it, they could blow their drug test. Bye, Alexis.
BPC 157, guess what they found? It would protect against traumatic brain injury.
Oh my God.
Do you think that every NFL football player in the country, in the world, should probably be taking this thing if it's a neuroprotective? No, they put it on the banned list. This is how crazy they are. These people are nuts, right? So,
oh my God.
Let me tell you about, there's different ways that you can get this peptide. You can get injectable. We're not talking about that because I don't like needles at all. I'm anti-needle. You can get it intranasally where you suck it up.
You're anti-needle? Okay.
They call it the Wolverine peptide. You guys remember the movie Wolverine when the guy would cut himself, he'd heal in a second? They call it the Wolverine peptide because your body heals so fast when you have this peptide. Okay. And I saw that happen within a week of taking it. All of Rocco's color came back in his face.
Bullshit.
And it hasn't gone away. Within a week of taking it, my mom calls me saying, "What are you giving me that's making me poop like this?" Okay. Like,
that sounds like digestive distress, but like, okay.
I mean, within a week, everybody that had like a gut problem, here's the beauty of it. You don't have to take it long. So how much do you take of it? You take 500 micrograms on an empty stomach, and you can start with it one to 2 times a day. I would say for the first 5 days, just take it once a day, 500 micrograms.
Talk to your doctor before you decide to add a supplement into your routine. Because guess what? Sometimes supplements interact bad with your prescription medication. Maybe she wouldn't have recommended that route at all because she doesn't believe in medical doctors or prescription medication. I don't know.
And then you can increase it to 2 times a day. It's best to take it on an empty stomach because it's going to heal up the tight junctions of the gut.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
Then all the food and the supplements you're taking, you're probably going to say, oh my gosh, they're suddenly working. Well, they're not floating through the body, my friends. They actually are in the gut. You guys
do peptide? What is she saying? Peptides close? Oh my god, that's not trustworthy. Reddit comes up on the very first one. That's not really... This is stable gastric peptidecapeptide, pentadecapeptide, BPC 157 may recover brain-gut axis and gut-brain axis function. I don't know if this is a good study or not. I'm going to link it in the chat. T. Halverson, we're confused too. I feel threatened at this point. Oh my god.
Get what's happening? You get why all your supplements and crap you've been doing it hasn't worked orally? Because the gut has been leaky gut. Everyone's got leaky gut. Okay.
No.
So you can also
not everyone does. No, actually, no. That incorrect. Incorrect.
Do it topically. They have a topical thing that you can do. The only one I'm talking about today that I put
The only one I'm talking about today is one that I can make a commission off of. Muff, muff, muff.
On my full script for you guys to order. If you want to order it, you don't have to order it for my full script. You can go somewhere else and order it. My primary job is to educate you today. Okay. If you want to order it from what I'm telling you, this is a great one. This is the one my family's taking. And this is the one that I have a 25% discount on when you go to my full script account. Okay. This is what else it does. I'm going to say it again. They call it organ protective for the pancreas, the liver, the kidneys. They've actually done most of the research.
Okay, thank you, Amy. I know Amy's like having to do actual work, but also helping us in the live chat. Amy is currently getting her PhD. Amy said tight junctions are between cells in the gut and are what manage the permeability. So that's where leaky gut would come from, but small chemicals are allowed through. So, yeah. Yeah, also her using a shotgun reference in taking out governmental organizations seems to be pretty concerning. And YouTube, I'm trying to debunk this lady. I'm not promoting any of this shit. It seems like it'd be a public concern issue. And if we can't talk about difficult things on my channel or on the internet, then we're in a bad spot.
Most of the research has been done on animals. Do you guys know that? Now they finally have done some human research with it. So the research is fairly new. So if you talk to a doctor about...
You don't necessarily want oral drugs to stay in the gut. Otherwise, they wouldn't affect anything else. Amy, you're so smart.
They'll say it's not safe. There's not been enough human trials. Well, I am listening to people that have anecdotally been using it with tens of thousands of people in Facebook groups for like 5 years. And their results are tremendous. Here's the...
You're telling me that people in a group wouldn't necessarily have a placebo-like effect. They're reading about all the incredible things that could happen when you take this BPC 157 or whatever, and that maybe they don't experience what they claim to be experiencing because they're imagining it. I'm not trying to say that as like, oh my god, it's all in your head. I'm saying sometimes that happens, and that's why you do double-blind studies. You give a placebo to one group, and you give the actual product to another group. And nobody knows who got the placebo and who got the real supplement or drug or whatever.
Beauty of it. You don't take it long term. How you start with it is you take that 500 micro to 1,000 micrograms a day on an empty stomach, and you start with just taking it for 1 month. That's it. And you analyze yourself after 1 month and you say, do I feel better? Have I seen noticeable changes? Oh, Rocco's skin color came back. I showed you the kid. Literally the kid, every time he goes to the gym, he looks like he comes back like a bodybuilder now. I'm like, holy, I mean, this is like in the last.
Let's not. Okay. The way she talks about her kids is like, makes me a little bit feel funny. I did take my drug development class like 7 or 8 years ago, but I did take classes about how drug and chemicals are dispersed as a required class for my PhD. That's awesome.
Last couple weeks, guys. This is crazy. In fact, this is what else it does. They found out that it doesn't increase growth hormone. If you Google it, it'll say BPC 157 increases growth hormone. That's a lie. It does not increase growth hormone. It does not increase it. What it does.
That's not why WADA banned it for athletes, you chicken nugget.
Is it increases the growth hormone receptors. So in our bodies, we have these growth hormone receptors. And if the receptors are not open and ready for when we increase the growth hormone, like when we're lifting weights and doing things that are like sprinting or running, if the growth receptors are not ready, it's kind of like a catcher's mitt. The mitt has to catch the growth hormone. So this peptide doesn't increase growth hormone. It increases the mitt.
Okay, growth. I just don't know any of this. The growth hormone receptor, the mechanism of receptor activation, cell signaling, and physiological aspects. Can you grow? Can you increase? Can you increase the growth hormone receptor? 10 ways to boost human growth hormone naturally. That's not what I want. Oxford Academic. Theoretically, administration. Okay, no, that's wrong. I don't know. I don't see a ton on that, but maybe I just don't understand.
Okay, to catch it. Okay, so they call it the growth hormone receptors are increased. So now it doesn't surprise me when Rocco's come back and I'm like, kid, you gained like 20 pounds in 3 weeks. What is going on with you?
You wouldn't necessarily okay. That doesn't happen. Okay. All right, whatever.
Your muscle. And what is going on with your skin? His beautiful tan skin face is back. And he said, Mom, I didn't dream for 2 years and I'm having the craziest, wildest dreams now. Is this normal? I'm like, yes, your brain is cleaning itself, right? Not nightmares. He's not having nightmares. He's just dreaming. And he has not dreamt in 2 years. My mom dreaming again. The other day she said, are you on the news again? I had a dream that you were on the news again. I said, hell no, I'm never going to be on the news. And so it was a dream, Mom. That was a dream. Okay. Anyway, what else do I want to tell you? It helps with cartilage. It helps with, oh God, I could just go on and on. It helps with overall muscle healing. But the biggest thing it helps with, did I send myself this thing? Do you guys know who that what's his name? Gary Brecka is? He said it is the #1 thing for colitis, IBS, Crohn's, you name the leaky gut. It is the #1 thing to heal up that gut. And because the junctions were all loose and now they're tight. And now all that good nutrition that Rocco's putting in his body is actually going to where it's supposed to instead of floating out through his system. Okay? Do you understand everything I just told you today? What I told you today is gold, by the way. You're not going to hear about it from anyone else.
Well, I'm glad this video is when I decided to stop being as much of a lurker. Amy, we wouldn't have been able to get through without you and the other smart people in the chat because, like, this is wild.
Else that's talking on these different spectrums and levels that I'm talking about. Okay, so what else does it does? It heal GI tract heal, mouth to anus. We've got that tube that runs from our mouth to our anus, and it's a single cell wall in there. And the thing of it is that gets broken down very easily But the beautiful thing is every 30 days, do you know that our entire, from our mouth to our anus is replenished? Every 30 days. That's why I think the least amount of time you should try the BPC 157 is 30 days. Okay.
But what if you're not, like, how do you know what part of the cycle you're at? It's not based off of the calendar. Your body just is like, okay, so how do you figure out when the start of your 30 days is? Hi, Bunny. Bunny Melon said, "Hi, I've been lurking. This woman sounds unhinged." You're not wrong. Hi, Aya. Oh, you were in the car for almost 6 hours? Oh, boy. I hope your nap was good.
This is not something you're going to take the rest of your life. You're going to take a month and see how you feel. Okay. And then go off of it for a bit. Okay. I said to my family, we're going to take it for a month, about twice a year. And just to kind of heal up anything that needs to be healed. And we'll see if you are taking and you're like, I took it for a month, I didn't notice one thing, then your body probably doesn't need it. Okay. It's really that easy.
But you still make the commission off of the purchase of someone getting that product. So they take it, they don't need it, but you still win. Either way. Cells are constantly dying and being replenished. It's not like everything resets at the same time. Oh, okay, Amy. That makes so much more sense. It's good to see you too. I hope you've been well. And if you haven't been well, I hope things get better, but it's really good to see you.
I like that you don't have to keep taking it. That makes me happy. It helps to heal the stomach. It helps to heal anal fissures. They literally...
Are we going to have to do parody pyramid pop with her saying anus or anal? Because maybe we do.
Did this clinical study where they chopped, I know this is kind of gross, they took a rat and they actually chopped their spinal cord right by their tail. And when they injected BPC 157 right into that area, the spinal cord completely regenerated and they could wag their tail again. Crazy.
What? Maybe that's one of the reasons that WADA has temporarily banned BPC 157 because unknown ability on athletes' performance. But but the FDA and WADA's corrupt. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and again, I know that there's going to be maybe some emotions about animal testing in labs, but we are able to get good information about medicine, how genes act, how like cells react, or like all this different stuff from starting out with rat testing and stuff like that. And it's not I don't know. I know it's difficult to process that. Fun fact, cellular death is actually the default for cells. They only live due to the thousands of cells signaling pathways telling them not to die. Oh, that's awesome, Aya. It's the way she words it. Yes. No compassion, no respect, no nothing.
Stuff like that. And obviously there's a little bit more to it because if not, they'd probably be giving it to every paraplegic.
Her soundproofing behind her is just absolute shit. That's not going to do anything.
Or a person that has had an issue like that. But I mean, the findings they're doing more and more clinical studies. But again, I don't think you're going to have big clinical studies because it's not a drug being moved through the pharmaceutical industry. Okay. Until they make it that. And when they make it that, it's going to be an arm and a leg to buy it. And you're going to need a doctor's prescription. And who knows what other kind of freaking chemicals are going to mix with it. Right. So right now, I feel just go get the compound.
Here's a question. So Alexis said something, isn't lack of cell death, doesn't that lead to cancer? I think so. Someone smarter should answer that. If that's the case, and we're talking about BPC 157 and how it helps your cells live longer or whatever, isn't that the issue with that peptide and the tumor potential issues that come along with that? Isn't that the issues that we're talking about when we're reading some of these studies? It's the... I don't know. I'm not smart. I'm just... You know what I'm saying? Can someone interpret what I'm saying? Is that, like, so far-fetched to think about? I know a lot of people that work with rodents, and they are some of the most loving people and care so much about animals. They usually have so much compassion and respect for their animals. That's kind of why growth factors are a bit sus too, I think. Yeah. Cancer is because of a series of mutations giving the cells the ability to avoid various death pathways and allow them to grow better. I'm just like want to screenshot everything that Amy types and Aya and all of y'all smarties in the chat, because I'm like, oh my god. Your ability to communicate that to all of us, Amy, is so good. And Aya, same. That's not how it would be done at all. It wouldn't even meet the first steps to getting animal research approved. It wouldn't pass the first 4 ethics reviews of the hypothetical research proposal. Thank you, Aya. Lack of cell death is more likely to cause types of cancers due to faulty replications and repairs. It also makes cells tend to do something like over-methylate DNA, which is a cause for colon cancer. Oh. I just looked up the journal on the database of open access journals and it didn't exist. Oh my god. Aya knows where it's at. Aya doesn't come to play, honestly. It's so good.
Like basically in here, you've got, it's an arginate salt. So it's basically the BPC and a form of sodium. That's all you're getting in this thing. Anyway. You take them twice a day. It doesn't fix your microbiome. Your microbiome is the probiotic. You need the enzymes like I talked about. You need the probiotic and you need the enzymes.
You don't always need digestive enzymes or enzymes in general. Glad my cellular signaling course is paying off. Honestly, anti-MLM appreciates you and your brain cells. Oh.
Enzymes, and some of you need the betaine hydrochloride. I put together a list on FullScript. Scott, can you put it in the comments if Scott's watching? I put together a list.
If Scott's watching, her hubby, if he's watching, can you put it in the comments? Okay.
On FullScript of exactly this exact one my family's been taking, the enzymes with pepsin, and of course the probiotic. One's for women and one's for men. So you can choose which one, woman or men. The women one is phenomenal because it has extra cranberry to help women protect against UTIs. That's a whole other story.
You know what else is interesting? If you're having to take prescription medication, if you're not able to drink enough liquid with your prescription medication, that can also increase your chance of getting a UTI, which I didn't know. So when they tell you to drink a lot of water with certain prescriptions, they're not fucking around. That's my science contribution today. I'm in the DNA repair field, so cancer is a big focus, both mutations and inflammation. That's so cool.
But anyway, so I put together, there's just a couple items in the cart there. You'll see them. And that is, the combination is really what you need along with the patches. So talk to who invited you on here. Get started at the patches at your convenience. I could do a whole presentation on that, but we already have a pre-recorded presentation for those that are interested in learning more about the patches. Do you have any questions in the chat? Let me look down here. Let me see what you say down here. Okay, I just ordered. Yeah, it's going to heal your leaky gut. I'm telling you it is. I mean,
I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to prescribe you anything. I'm not going to tell you this is going to fix anything. Oh, but yeah, this is going to fix your leaky gut. You're full of it. Honestly, you're full of shit.
It was almost like God had me on the journey after I started with X39 and learning about peptides and how our patches activate. So David Schmidt and I have gone back and forth about this BPC 157. I'm like, David, you need to create a phototherapy patch to activate this. So don't worry, I'm ready.
A phototherapy patch to activate what? Isn't your body going to do what it needs to with the peptide? What? How are people like her legally? Well, we report these individuals to the FTC and the FDA. And there have been several times that the work of people like Savannah and Savannah and Kat, Mombi, and a group of them got a Black Oxygen Organic shutdown. They also were, that same group helped get doTERRA reps fined for their medical claims. So even though it's a slow process, people like us, meaning regular people like people in the live chat, reporting people like her for stuff like this, either from a monetary standpoint because she's breaking the rules with the FTC or through the FDA, letting them know that they're doing this to profit off of people is helpful, and also bringing the attention of the public in these videos so that we can help educate the public about it so they won't buy into shit like this can help too.
Talking to David Schmidt for all the LifeWavers in here because he said, how is it working for your family? And I'm like, Rocco's dreaming. His color came back. He's gained like 30 pounds. My mom is pooping again, dreaming again. I mean, I don't know. Like, we've done a lot of other things. Let me see what else. Okay, thanks, Scott.
Catherine.
Scott, 25% off link if you guys decide to want to order through that link. Scott put it on there. I can put it on my Facebook page too. Again, I'm not here to try to sell you something. If you find it somewhere else that you want to buy it, go for it. I'm just telling you the one that we've been using.
I will tell you, I did not speed her up one bit. She's been on regular speed this whole time. What?
I know works. So
doesn't this like give you the same kind of energy, the same science fuckery as Jessie Lee? Am I off base for thinking that? Because like it feels similar.
Oh, that's how that goes. Exactly. So the brand of it is on the full script link. Let me see. Okay, anything else? 4 new messages. Doctor who invited you on here. You can share this with people. Again, we're not making medical claims. I'm just telling you what happened to my family.
I'm not making medical claims. You just said something would heal us. You just said that an undiagnosable condition was fixed by patches and peptides. Do you not think this recording wasn't going to make it out into the internet?
Family. It's been a total godsend for us. I've done so many things with my constipation since I started having children. Yeah. Are you on the patches? Number 1.
How are your blood levels and whatever? What does your blood test show? How is your eating doing? Are you able to eat consistently? Are you able to, and I'm not trying to like gaslight people. I imagine that growing a human child and stuff that happens as you're growing your kid, your body hopefully does what it needs to provide extra stuff along with your vitamins, your prenatal stuff that you're taking. After you give birth, your body's like, what the fuck's going on? Why is there no child here anymore? We need to like figure out what to do and get our body back to like what it was before. And then you work with your medical doctor and a registered dietitian and all this stuff to help get things, help support your body after birth as well. Because sometimes there may be things that you need that you don't realize because that's a big traumatic event. Yes, and Jessie Lee Ward's embrace of natural, unproven interventions. Yep.
But number 2, you need the patches because you need to bring light into the body. Because remember, the 3 peptides that heal the...
You're not bringing light into the body. Allegedly, the little patches reverberate the infrared light coming from your body back into your body. It's not bringing light into your body. It's already in your body. Do you even know how your patches work?
Gut from Leaky Gut, parasite, which is going to be a medical drug, BPC 157, and GHK CU peptide, which is our X39 patch. That's what activates that. Okay? Excited to try this. Yes, you bet. Thank you. Okay, that's it. That's all I have for you. Hopefully it wasn't too all over the board. I knew that.
I mean, it was all over the board, all over the science board. Oh, wait, we thought we were playing on the science board, but it was really on the reverse side and the upside down of science called pseudoscience hell. Have any of y'all watched, what is it called? The upside down. What is it called? I just got nervous. which happens every stream. 11. Upside. You know what I'm talking about. 11. Stranger Things. You know in Stranger Things when they're like the regular world and then the upside down where the fuckery is afoot? That is what happens. That's the best description that I can give, where allopathic's up here or scientific based stuff and then the upside down, which is where we're at.
I had certain things that I was polling and sharing, and I just wanted to make sure that I got all those right. All right. Do you guys have any questions? Did you learn anything? I hope so. My goal is to make you so crazy, radical, healthy, because I believe that when you have health.
Maybe we don't go radical. Maybe we don't.
And when you have financial independence,
Oh, there it is. The financial independence. That's also a flag for the FTC. You're not supposed to say that. You're not supposed to say that.
Are much tougher to control. And I don't want you guys easily controlled or brainwashed by that crazy federal government until we get a reset over there.
Oh, we get a reset over there? We are, just as a reminder, and I'm not going to get political. I'm not going to get political. It is a magical situation that we have. That we are a country of laws, and we also have the opportunity to change those laws when they're fucked up, but we go through a process of changing them so we don't end up in a dictatorship or something like that ends up harming large groups of people en masse. And it is concerning listening to her language about how she described the right people getting into the government and taking a shotgun to organizations. That seems concerning to me. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, she's still going.
All right. May the Lord bless you, keep you, and shine his face upon you, and be gracious to you all the days of your life. Scott put the link in there. I'll put it on my Facebook page right now. Share if you care. And if you're on this and you haven't started on the patches, talk to who invited you on this webinar, and they will get you started on the appropriate patches for you. Because the patches work. Like my practitioner said, I've never seen anything in 25 years that increased the mitochondria in 1 month like that X39 patch did. And I'm like, holy cow, that's a big statement. So now she's got every practitioner or she got practitioners on it too, but she also got all of her patients on it. All right. Awesome information. Have a great night, everybody. God bless you. The best is yet to come. Watch the Bobby Kennedy and Trump thing on Tuesday. Put it on my Facebook page.
Oh my God.
Bye. Regenerative medicine's where it's at.
Oh my God.
We did it! We did it! We did it! Yay! Always team up. We did it! Yay! Woo! Hooray! We did it!
What? Oh, what in the Sam Hill is going on here? What? Repeating herself over and over again, which is a high control group technique, just to make sure it sinks in. Yeah. I don't know what to say other than I think we need to keep an eye on her via, if she posts something publicly, we should react to it, because shit like this tends to thrive when people think they can get away with it and not be challenged on their ideas. And I hope that more people will challenge her on her ideas, because they're harmful medically, in my opinion. I don't know what else. I mean, everybody?
I love you.
please like the stream. If you are a member, if you want to, at the end of the stream, if you want to go into the comment section and give me a tinfoil hat, no, like, you don't need to give me any context or anything. Just a tinfoil hat would just make me super happy. I'll keep you, Mommy, I'm scared. Yeah, I'll keep you updated. I will be streaming tomorrow, but I'm not sure what time. If you have something that you want me to look at, I will start linking this pinning this in the comment section, but you can go to my campsite bio and submit links, videos of any size, stuff like that. So thank you for your help. Thank you to who sent me this video. I appreciate you. Go regulate yourself, and I'm gonna do the same thing. Okay. Bye. Oh, wait, where is it? Goodbye.